Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second round of LRC in Season 6. Phil, I can hear myself through your mic. Well, that spoils who's joining me in the commentary box today, but yeah, I am here today with Phil Malone in the commentary box for Round 2 of Tier 1 at Jeddah.
It is the double audio man, my personal self. Hello, everyone, and it is quite a while since we heard each other here in the commentator booth, and I'm especially honored to be in here with Coolest today.
Indeed, it's good to be back with you. It's been, I think it was Season 4 the last time we were together in one of the Tier 2 races, but yeah, we're back now, and the drivers are getting out on track already. Seems like I need to turn up the volume. Let me do that real quick. But yeah, we are here in today. Things may be a little scuffed to start the stream. We didn't have much time to prepare because Phil had to do the briefing, which is obviously very important around a track like this. But yeah, we're here now, and first thing to note is it is going to be a sprint race today. So different format. We've got short quali, then we call it a 50% sprint race, and then a 50% feature race.
Yeah, basically both races over half distance, which is what our drivers actually really wanted to do, since the sprint format last season was, let me say it, a bit flawed, maybe. It had really long wait times for us to set up a second lobby, and now the new format should streamline a few things more, and I'm quite excited to see how that will turn out.
Yeah, indeed. It was quite a successful vote, like you say. Is my thing all right? Yeah, I think it is. All right, so we have our first driver getting out onto the track and starting a lap now, which is Hakutaka, who's making his way out of turn 3 here. Now, this is obviously a very difficult track, and especially difficult when you've got 17, 18 other cars, in fact, on the track with you. So trying to navigate the traffic will be, I'm sure, as difficult as ever. And as he hits the curb there, which is not what you want to do. That curb is absolutely lethal. The second you touch it, you just lose all grip. And yeah, that's going to be the end of Hakutaka's first lap, coming a little bit early there.
It is quite surprising that the lap wasn't invalidated. I have to recheck real quick if I actually put it on strict, but I did. So I don't know why his lap is still counting, but it would be dumb if he actually wouldn't continue that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think he would have lost a lot of time from that anyway. So yeah, we'll see. I'd imagine he's backed off. Davey, we also saw making a mistake at the end of the first sector too. It's very tricky, that first sector, but here we have Felix in the Alfa Romeo, showing everybody how it's done by going purple so far. And out of the banked corner.
I think Icky Rabbit is the first car to actually finish his lap. Let's see if that is actually true or not.
Yeah, we'll have a look. Into the final corner he will go. Got to get a really nice exit out of this one, obviously. Long gold run to the line here. Get the DRS flicked open. And up to the line for our first competitive lap of qualifying. Icky Rabbit sets a 1:27.714 as the benchmark for everyone else to beat.
I think that's quite alright for the first one, but let's see what real drivers can do with Afari, and of course Elias a bit later. Elias still on his outlet, but he's just starting that now, and Afari already is on his flying lap, just coming out of the banked corner after sector 1.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on him, since he will be the first of, I suppose, the championship contenders to set a competitive time. But it's important to mention, speaking of championship, the results were greatly modified after after 2 weeks ago's race. So indeed, it ended up with Loris being the one taking the victory after a 5-second penalty was applied to Elias as well. So yeah, Loris in the Alfa Romeo, he can't make it here today, but still, he managed to start off his season with 25 points, so good job to him, and that means that ended up with Fred in second place and Elias in P3, along with a few other changes. So yeah, we kind of expected a bit of reshuffling, and that is exactly what we got, as Afari only goes 6th quickest.
That is quite surprising, but it didn't look like the most rapid lap for him. Maybe it was a warm-up for him. That is. Meanwhile, Shadow, aka Binmeister, 1:26.775. That is quite something.
Yeah, that is an almighty lap from Shadow there. I mean, we'll see what anybody else can do. We've got Elias making his way through the final sector now, and we'll see if he's got anything in response to that. But getting our first driver into the 26s with the Red Bull as Elias taps the wall on the inside of the final corner there. at turn 27. That is not ideal for him. That will compromise his run to the line. Meanwhile, Fred jumps up to P2. Can Elias beat it? Oh, yes, he can. 126.2.
Half a second.
That is an almighty lap from the Ferrari driver. I did say that he seemed to be, well, it seemed like he was struggling a bit around the final corner, but apparently not. The rest of his lap must have been completely sublime. So, yeah, Elias sets down your new benchmark, 126.2. Good luck.
That is quite something and quite tough to beat for most of them, I think. Afari surely looks like on a cooldown lap. He's recharging all his battery here, so I think he will go for a second attempt just in a few moments. But also who I just see who is really quick is Slinks. Slinks with a 127.4 is also quite good. He is in P6 right now.
Yeah, he's making his way out the final turn again. He's on his way back into the pits now. And I think, is that Blundy also, is he about to finish the lap? No, he's pitting as well. So, yeah, we've sort of had our first lap to the session in now. And somebody who's yet to set a time, still on an outlap right now, is Bimpo, who did actually end up picking up 1 point after last race from the penalties, but still not exactly the way he wanted to start his title campaign. So, we'll see what he can do. He struggled in qualifying in Bahrain, so we'll see if he can do a bit better around here. And, yeah, just making his way around steadily on the outlet. Meanwhile, we have I Like Trains purple in the first sector in the Alpha Tauri, so perhaps that time of Elias's might not be too untouchable, so we'll stay on board as he heads into this very tricky little chicane here through 15, that curved braking zone, blind right-hander through 16, and then 17. Turn 18 doesn't really even exist here, you just bleed out the steering on the exit. And now through, well, none of these corners really exist, 19, 20, and into turn 21 now, and now here's the big one, turn 22, fastest corner on the track, don't run over that curb on the exit, and he didn't take too much of it there, not enough to bottom out, so still a good lap here from I Like Trains. He was a little bit wide of the apex at turn 22, but still seemed to carry some good speed, as he heads now down towards the final turn of the lap. Can be deceptively tricky, this one. You need a late apex, get the power down nice and smooth, as he does. And we'll see what this lap is going to be as he opens the DRS on the run to the line. What will it be for I Like Trains? It is only P8. So lost a lot of time after Sector 1.
It looked really rapid. I think purple sector 1 and 2, if I saw that correctly,
Wow.
on the minimap. But maybe also the game. Sometimes the game doesn't really show the sectors if they are actually purple or not. But still, really good lap nonetheless for Alex Rens, and I think he might have still something to improve over the next few minutes.
Yeah, I would agree. He's usually a quick driver, and equally quick so far is his teammate Maxcon, who, again, as far as the game has told us. Oh yeah, Afari jumps to third. Yeah,
but
so that's
really close to Shadow.
Yeah, very close to Shadow. That's much more like it from Afari, as we have Maxcon about to cross the line now. See what he can do. He goes 8th quickest, so beats his teammate and Icky Rabbit too. But still, I suspect the game might just be lying a little bit with some of the purple sectors. So yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind moving forwards.
Yeah, it's unfortunately pretty common. I think only from the spectator view, but so far, a bit wide for Icky Rabbit over the curb out of Sector 1. Could have been a bit better, but he's up 4 tenths, so that is still an improvement for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I didn't get to catch the mistake, but here's another one on the lap now. We're sort of reaching the middle stage of qualifying. Unfortunately, we've got the usual curse of there being so many yellow flags from drivers going slowly that we can't actually see how long's left in the session. Now, there we go. We got a glimpse for a second. 8.5 minutes left. So, Icky Rabbit will be probably on his penultimate lap in qualifying here. So he chucks it into turn 22. Gets a nice line through there. Oh, taps the wall on the inside of 24. That's not ideal, but won't have cost him too much as long as he didn't get damaged. Let's see. Nope. No M plate's all still intact, so on his way to the final corner will be uncompromised and got to get focused, get it turned in as he does nicely. Gets the power down on the exit, and let's see what he can do on the run to the line. The driver who finished 5th last week is going to go P4.
Whoa, 126. That is quite unexpected, but really, really solid effort from the other Haas.
Yeah, we did see him up at the front of the... I mean, we saw most drivers up at the front of the field at some point last race, but he was there for a little bit and in the lead, and yeah, showing his pace again, as Felix, meanwhile, goes 2nd place. Loris's replacement, as you were for this race, is looking mighty quick so far.
He cleared Shadow with 0.3 of a second, which is which is quite close to Shadow still. But still, what an effort!
Yeah, and well, we have Shadow just starting a lap now, so we'll see how he can respond to that one. Getting right up to the wall on the exit of turn 3 there.
As close as possible.
Yeah, this very tricky turn 4, where you've got to try and avoid that inside wall. Many people will be hitting that today, I'm sure, but Shadow is not one of them so far, as he makes his way through turns 8 and 9 now, or 9 and 10. And yeah, gets a very nice and tidy line through there. Heading towards the bank corner of turn 13. The game tells us he's purple. We don't know if that will be true, but does at least mean that he's improving, so that's bodes well for him. He doesn't need much of an improvement to get past Felix, so if he can keep that up for the rest of the lap, he might just be on course for P2, and who knows, maybe even P1, but he's a little bit wide through turn 16 there, so probably a bit more curb through 17 than he'd have liked, but yeah, it's still going on a strong lap so far as the Red Bull driver gets that DRS wide open. On the run down to turn 22. Again, the game tells us he's purple, but he's wide through there. That's not ideal. Loses it. Hits the wall. Hits the wall again there for good measure. Somehow he's only lost a bit of an end plate, but yeah, that was a very sketchy moment from Shadow.
It could have ended quite bad, but Shadow still has another attempt if he goes into the pits now. We have still 6 minutes left on the clock, and I followed actually the gap here which he was gaining. He was up like 3/10 on his personal best. So that is quite unfortunate for Shadow, but he will have another attempt. But that curb ruined everything for him right now.
Yep, and we also have Fred following in his footsteps on his way to the line now. Let's see what he can do from P6. Where will he go? P2. So improvement from Fred, but still only 4/10 away from Elias. So
but
people struggling.
Elias is going over the finish line in just a few minutes.
Yeah, he's 6/10 down there as far as the game says, so he's going to be on his way back to the pits, I'd assume. Indeed, he is.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's going to have to go for another one, and I suspect it might be a bit of a case for Elias of his first lap in qualifying being the best. I think he might struggle to beat that one, to be honest, but who knows, maybe if he can replicate the rest of the lap and then get turn 27, right, maybe he can find even more time, but yeah, I think at the moment everyone else is just trying to see if they can contend with that first lap.
Yeah, and only Cartage is actually finishing a lap right now. Bacon Boys, he actually improves by 4/10. That is quite a lot. I think he found it in just one corner.
That is very impressive. Yeah, good luck from him, Afari's teammate, of course, trying to help out McLaren in the constructors. We're not expecting Welbs to be going for the title, but we'll see what kind of results he can pick up, and going fairly solid in P11 at the moment. We do have a very close field spread, to be fair. Well, very close if you don't count Elias. Then, yeah, then everybody else is fairly close together, so that does always bode well for the race. Hopefully we should have plenty of action.
Should actually start a lap race soon.
Yeah, he's making his way through the final sector now. I think we have a few drivers on a lap at the moment. You can see one of the Alpines going past. I think that's just Tim Blythe. He's not started his lap yet either, so looking to get track position at the moment. And yeah, I think we're just sort of waiting for everyone to get their final laps underway now, unless Fred's on his way back to the pits. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a breather here in qualifying.
We have, but as I said, we should keep an eye out of him. He does the most extreme tire warming I have ever seen in my life. Basically just locking the tires all the way over the last straight. And now he has opened DRS and starts his flying lap.
And we will ride on board for this flying lap, because this will be a very important one for him. There's only a few minutes left in the session, takes a whole host of curb at turn 1, but he's a little bit wide of the apex at turn 2 there. Not the ideal way to start the lap. But yeah, this is an important one for him. Still not set a time yet in qualifying, and only 3 minutes left to go, so unless he's fueled up, oh, he might get some traffic here. The Williams not getting out of the way, and that might just screw over Bimpo's qualifying here. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to go again. You would think so. He'll be able to save his battery now, but that Williams, I think it was of Kateshi there, just did not see him coming, and yeah, that is not good for the Aston Martin driver.
When I see it correctly, Bimpo has only 0.7 laps of fuel left, so he has to come in.
That is not good at all. He's yeah, he's got 3 minutes left in the session. He's going to be cutting it mighty fine. I'm not sure he's going to be able to set a time here, so that's why you see him still going full pelt around the lap, because he knows he's probably going to have to get straight back into the pits. So yeah, this is going to be very close for him, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, it will be quite tough.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, but I think he uses his battery to get to the pits as fast as possible. Maybe he even finishes that lap, so that he just has something on the timing boards. Let's see.
Yeah, and another driver cutting through the traffic right now is I Like Trains on a hot lap into turn 22. Keeps it well away from the curb that Shadow hit earlier on in the session. And should be on a decent lap so far. Haven't got a chance to see his sector splits, so will be left in the dark till he crosses the line from here. But into the final corner he goes, currently P9. Going to get it turned in again, a little bit wide of the apex there. He seems to be struggling with just a bit of understeer. Is he going to be back into the pits? Yes, he is. So that's going to be no improvement for I Like Trains then.
Throws it in. Thank God here the pit assist is still disabled for the qualifying for him, otherwise it would have been a penalty. Bimbo actually finished this lap. He is at P14 in the moment, but that Williams surely cost him the lap. So Bimbo will now finish this lap and go into the pits, but I think he won't have time for anything left, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely not. So it might have been a sensible call, to be fair, to just finish that lap and see how many places he could get. He was actually purple in the second sector, so yeah, still managed to find some good pace, but yeah, only P14. That's going to be very painful for a driver who's not had the best of luck so far, but we do still have, well, one of the drivers who has had very good luck so far, Elias, absolutely sending it through turns 9 and 10 there, looking to be on an equally quick lap. He's a tenth and a half down so far, so perhaps not as quick as his first run, and that's unsurprising, I will say. Gets right up to the wall on the exit of the banked corner at turn 13. Now through 14 into 15, 16 and 17, such a tricky complex there, and a little bit wide of the apex. Still carries good speed though, as I Like Trains retired from the session. He's not going to be improving any further. P9 at best for him. And Elias now, let's see what his second sector split is here. As he heads towards turn 22, it is 2 tenths down, so I don't think Elias is going to be able to improve unless he can unless he can find all 2 of those tenths around the final corner. Speaking of the final corner, we've got Shadow, like you say, making his way out of that corner, heading towards the line. What can Shadow do? As he crosses the line, it's P2, but still 2.5 tenths off Elias. Nobody can match that time. Can the Ferrari driver even beat it himself? He's going to finish the lap. What can he do? He can improve. 126.1. Unbelievable lap. And he did indeed find all of that time at the final corner, and Elias has just blown the field away.
That is... I'm speechless right now. How does Elias find that time around that circle? That must be frame perfect inputs at that point.
Well, we've still got people left to go. Fred has just managed to cross the finish line to start his final lap of qualifying. And yeah, everybody who crosses the line now is not going to be able to start another lap. So these are final laps for everybody. We've got Felix in P4, making his way into the final sector here. So you hear the sound of the DRS opening, keeping it tight as he can to the inside here. He's trying to do exactly what you said Elias was doing, keep it frame perfect. Into turn 27 now. Again, a little bit wide of the apex there, not ideal. He gets the power down on the run to the line. It looks like he's coming back to the pits. Is he? No, just keeping it tight all the way up to the inside. What can he do? He goes second. 2 tenths off Elias. He gets close, but not close enough.
That is quite something, but now let's keep an eye on Fred and Afari. Both are coming right behind each other, so it will be maybe Afari can sniff up a bit of DRS, but Afari actually didn't use any battery.
Ooh, and I think, yeah, there's we've got Fred purple in Sector 2 though. Again, we don't know if that's true, but seems to be on a quick lap so far. So Afari not going to be improving from P5 on the grid. That is not ideal for the well, for the reigning world champion, who wasn't here last week, wasn't able to get his championship campaign underway. So he's a little bit behind everyone, might be even further behind now. Let's see what Fred can do. He finished second last week. He's making his way out of the final corner. Can he topple Elias's time? No, he can't, but he gets mighty close. 126.2 for Fred. That gives him second place, but still not quite enough to beat Elias.
It is quite impressive how close P3 and P1 are still together, but still, like, those laps are impressive. I could never pull something off like this in qualifying. Especially with the pace those guys show. Big shout out to Felix. He comes out of nowhere and just puts it on P3.
Yeah, that's for his first, as far as I know, his first drive in LRC. That is a very impressive way to start. And yeah, going to be in a very good position on the clean side of the grid. to see what he can do for the sprint race, which will be coming up first. So yeah, for everybody who didn't have the best qualifying, thankfully they will have, or thankfully for them, they will have the chance to try and make amends for that. So Bimpo, I'm sure, down in P15 will be looking to try and improve on that time. But yeah, it is Elias who walks the session P1 the whole time, but did get quite close at the end there, so I reckon we might just have a fight on our hands.
I think so as well. I'm really, really excited to see what will happen in that sprint race. Will it be chaotic? I hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I mean, LRC around Jeddah, if Bahrain was as chaotic as it was, then, well, let's see what the drivers have cooking up for us. But yeah, let's give a quick run down the order. We have Elias in P1, and Fred in second, Felix in third. Shadow ends up only P4 and Afari P5. Then it's German 6th and 7th with Icky Rabbit and Max Gun. Welbs with a very solid P8 there, so great job by him in the McLaren.
Oh, yeah.
And Hakotako P9 wasn't able to improve towards the end of the session. Slinks in P10 with a good lap. I Like Trains 11th, Blundy 12th, Davey 13th, Infamous Pidge 14th, Bimpo 15th, Leland 16th, then it's Tim, Bleish, Kateshi, and Malb rounding off the grid. So we'll go to a quick break now, give the drivers time to set themselves up for the sprint race, and we'll be back in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. There we go. Okay, we are here, and we are back. Sorry about technical difficulties for a second, but yeah, Formation Lap is underway, and now is our chance to take a look at the strategy. I have no idea if there is going to be much strategy today. See if I can find how to pull that up. There we go. We have one driver on softs, Tim Bleish, and everybody else on mediums. So yeah, not too much by the way of strategy for the sprint race.
Not really. I mean, you only can strategize so much with 9 laps coming up. The only thing you can basically hope for is a safety car. Although Tim Bleish is kind of known for unconventional strategies.
Indeed.
He has shown that in Survive the Drive, where he was one of the very first cars to go on the intermediate tires when it started raining in Singapore. So maybe he has some inside knowledge we lack of. Let's see if he actually can pull it off, but I might have a suspicion that he has to come in when a safety car should be triggered, which we hope which it doesn't.
Yeah, that would ideally that won't be the case, as Phil was mentioned to me. We are on reduced safety cars after last week, which I think is absolutely the right call. So yeah, we shouldn't be seeing too many of those, and even if we do, there's only 9 laps anyway, so they could probably only get 1 or 2 of them in. But yeah, hopefully everybody keeps it clean, and it will be interesting to see, like you say, how the strategy pans out for Tim Bleish. If the tyre wear is low, which I wouldn't expect around here, but if it is low, then he might just be able to make it work, and maybe make it work with some pace, but we'll have to wait and see. He's, like you say, known for his rogue strategies, and everybody else is keeping to the medium. So, making our way in towards the final corner now. We have Elias is going to lead them around, and yeah, everybody going to have to get themselves prepared, and get into the zone, get focused, and be ready for one of the trickiest sprint races of the year.
It will be. The softs, I think, you could use the softs, but in F122, which I think the tire deck wasn't too bad around Jeddah, if I remember correctly. But we will see what Tim Bleish makes of it. But I think it was a really solid strategy back then. Let's see if it works in F123.
Yeah, as you see everybody getting, well, a lot of drivers being very aggressive on the tyre warm-up there, as we have our final cars making our way into the grid. Malp, who had a qualifying ban, is going to round out the grid here in P19, and that will mean we are ready now to, well, we'll have to ride on board, thank you Codemasters, to see what Elias can do from P1 on the grid for the sprint race. So, here we go. We'll wait for the lights to come on, hopefully they will do that this time. Apparently not. Oh, okay, we're not going to see any lights, so we're just going to go. It's lights out, and we are underway, and it seems like a decent start for Elias here. Fred's going to try and switch to the outside, going to have the inside to turn 2, but he can't get through there. Can everybody keep it clean through the first few corners here? Seems like it's all good so far, so everybody doing a good job to start off the race, but it is Elias who holds the lead from Fred, who tried to make it work around the outside, but that was never going to happen, as we have a spin here, or a half spin for Blundy. Does well to save it. Everybody getting checked up, though, through the S's. This is going to be very close. I'd be impressed if they can keep it tidy through here, but it seems like they might just do it. So clean start from everybody there, and long may that continue.
Yeah, my HUD gave out, so I can't see anything where cars are around. But I think Shadow had also a decent start, if I see that correctly. He's up
Indeed.
into P3.
Yes, Shadow's up to P3, as we just saw Hakutako getting up to P7 there. He's had a great start, so made up 2 places so far. And Shadow up into 3rd place, but still being hunted down by Felix in the Alfa Romeo, so we'll see how long he's able to hold that position. Felix seems to be the quicker of the two in a straight line. Meanwhile, further down the grid, we have Bimpo making a move. He's had a good start, and gets up into P12 already, so up 3 places. He'll be looking to continue that, as now Felix and Shadow trade in places here. They're going to go wheel to wheel towards the final corner, and Fred might be looking for a move on Elias for the lead. Not quite close enough yet. Side by side they go. It's Shadow and trying to force Felix a bit wide into the wall there, but Felix holds his nerve and gets the position.
Great job, and look out for Afari. He's also just behind Shadow and Felix. Maybe Afari is looking for something into turn 1, but it doesn't look like it. Shadow looked way more aggressive, but backs out, which I think is the more sensible thing to do at that phase of the race.
Yeah, I would have to agree. We still have 7 laps to go. It is a sprint race, so obviously naturally a bit more aggressive than you would see in the feature race, but yeah, still, you have got to play it sensible, because this will decide the grid order. We're still using the old sprint format, so you don't want to take any big risks here, because obviously the main race is still what counts. But we have Fred still in behind, with that risk factor in mind, still running in P2 at the moment, but pleased to say that Elias has not run away with this one, and it seems like we are going to be getting a fight for the win here, between at least 2 cars, and maybe even 3, 4 or 5.
You never know what happens. Jeddah is quite narrow at some points, and especially in the overtaking corners, so maybe a contact between Fred and Elias might happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, as we have now Shadow right on the back of Felix here, almost pushing him into turn 22 there. And it's not something you would want to be seeing, I'm sure, especially if you're in that Alfa Romeo, but he's backed off a little bit now, so gaps have just started to open up a bit, as you would expect. And meanwhile, Bimpo, we were just looking at him a second ago, he's made another move now up to P11, so he is on a charge in this race. Meanwhile, Infamous Pidge getting swamped there by 2 cars at once, and those two, it's Malb and Davey, going side by side into the final corner, and Malb is going to get up to P13, so double overtake for him. From 19th on the grid, he's made up 6 places already on the mediums, and doing very well so far, but that position might be about to switch back. They're going to go 3 wide now into turn 1 here. That's Pidge trying to get up the inside, but that's not going to work. He's going to get cycled out a bit there. Running wide now is the Alfa Romeo, and he's going to drop down to P17 after all of that. So even down in the midfield, we've got battles everywhere, and now Pidge runs deep on the brakes and taps around Leland. And yeah, that was sort of inevitable to happen at some point, but that was still very unfortunate. Leland, an innocent bystander there, and yeah, he's going to drop to the back of the field, and I'd imagine without a safety car, that's probably going to be where he starts the race.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for Leland. I wish I would have my HUD so I could see where cars are, so I have to kind of rely on you.
That's not ideal, but you can do your best, I suppose. So
Yeah.
what we do have is Fred up in P2 and still charging down the back of Elias. DRS now enabled, getting very close to turn 22. He's not going to make a move there, surely. Oh, he
great
runs a
touch
bit
of
wide
luck.
though. He hit the wall on the inside. He's gone wide, and now here comes Felix with a much better run into turn 25. He's going to have to go the long way round, and he might even go for 2 moves for the price of 1. He's got brilliant straight line speed. Thread's going to try and get back up the inside. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 27, but somehow Elias has just about held ahead. But who's going to have the DRS? That's going to decide who's going to be in the lead at turn 1. Fred and Felix have got it. They're bump drafting towards the first corner here. And Elias still there on the inside, clearly running low wings, but he has to back out. Now can Shadow try and squeeze around the outside, side by side, and banging tyres and sliding. Felix just about catches a half spin. Now he doesn't, and into the wall. Felix gets taken out there. He's backwards, and he's just going to have to wait for the whole field to go by. That's so unfortunate for him. And he is going to go right to the back of the grid with no front wing. And it's Fred now who takes the lead of the race as Elias runs wide and Shadow gets back past. And now Afari gets past him as well. So chaos here.
It's absolute chaos. Elias nearly took out 2 cars with his rejoin, I think, from what I saw. Kind of dangerous rejoin, but now, as I said, the grid is shuffled completely around. Now we have Fred running in P1, Shadow in P2, and then Afari running in P3. But he has to defend from Elias.
Yeah, it was clearly about to kick off, and now it has kicked off. Here comes Elias. He's going to go round the outside in towards turn 22. Is Afari going to back out? He's not going to back out. There's contact between the two, but somehow they keep it clean. But they've lost a lot of time, and now here comes Icky Rabbit in the Haas. Might try and make a double overtake again here, but he doesn't seem to have the straight line speed. I think he might have had to back off there, getting checked up by Afari. It's everybody getting so close together. It's the two Haasses who are going to be side by side into the final turn this time around, and getting very close to contact on the exit there, but it's Hakitaki who gets back ahead of his teammate and up into P5.
Look at Shadow. Shadow and with DRS coming really close to Fred. If Shadow can keep it at the pace he has right now, he might go for a move on the next few straights.
Ooh, and a slide on the exit there. MaxCon somehow ended up into P5 all of a sudden. I think it was Haku Taco had a massive snap of oversteer on the exit.
Bimpo.
Now MaxCon has a snap of oversteer as well. And as Bimpo made a mistake, I'm not sure. Everybody's getting involved here. We've got a yellow flag out at turn 1. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we don't even have time to look at it because we've got chaos happening up here. And somehow it ends up with Icky Rabbit clearing away in P5, MaxCon in P6. Now side by side is Slinks and Haku Taco. Haku Taco backs out though, and it's pandemonium on the track here.
Yeah, like the mistake from Maxcon wasn't really a mistake. Bimbo just ran into the rear of Maxcon, which gave him that snap of oversteer.
Now a snap of oversteer of his own for Hakutako there, getting very square on the exit. Bimpo might try and capitalise on that now, but doesn't seem to have the overspeed, and I would assume, not going to go for that move. Meanwhile, you saw Malb there, right on the back of Blundy, and that was Blundy actually getting past the Red Bull driver, so those two still scrapping away for P12 and 13. We'll see if they continue to change places, but first and foremost, we have Bimpo. He's going to make the move to go around the outside of Hakutako, giving each other plenty of space. And, not giving each other much space anymore, getting very close to the inside now, and that is going to be Bimpo from P15 on the grid, all the way up to P8 already, as now Binmeister and Afari, or Shadow I should say, Elias has gotten through into second place, and Afari follows him through into third, and Shadow suddenly drops to fourth.
It's all over chaos, battle after battle after battle, there is non-stop what we kind of hope for, and so far, it's fairly clean.
Well, for the most part, we've not had a safety car. That's, I suppose, the most important thing after how last week went. But, everybody does need to keep in mind that in 3 laps' time, wherever they finish will be where they start the feature race. So, perhaps we'll see them calm down a bit towards the end of the race, or maybe I'm just being optimistic. It's probably the latter. Either way, we'll see what they can do. The gaps have started to open up just a little bit again here. And Malb was able to repass Blundy to get back up into P12. So, we've got a moment to breathe here, but not more than one moment, because MaxCon straight onto the back of Icky Rabbit here to try and reclaim that P5, and MaxCon showing some very good pace today.
It actually is. MaxCon, the hater of sprints, actually performing well in a sprint race. That is the irony of today.
Absolutely, he's all over the back now of Icky Rabbit, but a little bit wide there, and Slinks all over the back of him into turn 22. There's been a very good performance from the Aston Martin driver so far. We'll see if he's able to keep it clean. And you're right. Afari round the outside of Elias. We'll see if those two change places again down the start-finish straight. Now we've got MaxCon trying to make the move up the inside of Icky Rabbit. Gets up into P5 for the time being, but again, those guys might be switching places down the start-finish straight too. Afari seems like he's going to hold the position, so we are going to look behind. 3 wide, they'll go towards turn 1 as Slinks makes a double overtake. Round the outside though, Icky Rabbit's going to try and fight it up the inside, but Slinks has held the position, defends it beautifully, and MaxCon is just about able to nip back up up the inside to try and get back into P6. Indeed he does. Everybody getting very checked up into turn 4, but they somehow keep it clean and slinks suddenly into P5.
I think we mismatched the racing series. We blood thinking they are racing a NASCAR, but that is F1. And like how are they actually going five cars in one corner? It's quite amazing and really nice racing from all of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we did to... Ooh, there's a little bit of contact between Bimpo and Hakutaka. Those two have swapped places again here, so... Ooh, Bimpo clipping the wall now, so perhaps getting a little bit scrappy. Those mediums might just be starting to wear out a little bit. So, yeah. I'll see what Bimpo can do here, if he can get any further up the order, but he seems to have met his match a little bit in terms of pace here, and this wall of 4 cars from P5 down to P8 that have been fighting basically all race long, still going at it. Meanwhile, further up the field, we have Shadow on the back of Elias, who doesn't seem to have the best pace at the moment, and we might just be seeing yet another move to switch around the top 3 as Afari chasing down Fred for the lead.
Look, yeah, it's really close again together. Afari is still with DRS. I don't know how many laps we still have left. I think there are not many left. So it will be now better for the scraps, basically.
And now we've got 3 wide again here for P5, 6 and 7. There's a surprise. And it's this time Slinks getting double passed. He's down to 7th. It's side by side between Icky Rabbit and MaxCon at turn 1. Slinks is going to try and get back up the inside with a switchback of dreams. Contact between the 3 of them. Somehow they all keep it in the right direction. Side by side into turn 4. Somehow they're still on the track. This is brilliant racing between the 2 of them. Slinks and MaxCon just about holds a position and stays in P5. What a race we have here.
It is certainly amazing. I have never seen that.
Oh, and now the 2 Hasses side by side. The teammates again getting almost into contact between the 2 of them. Bimpo trying to look for a way through, but it's Icky Rabbit who's just about going to hold off his teammate for the time being. But for how much longer, we'll wait and see. We are on the penultimate lap of the race here, so there's not much longer to make your final moves. So it might just be getting a bit more desperate as now off the track goes Hakutaka there, and Bimpo losing a bit of time there from that as well.
I think the Haas may be team playing here, so they keep Bimpo behind, so they get more points out of for the feature race.
Meanwhile, what we have to switch to is the battle for the lead onto the final lap of the race. Afari gonna dive it up the inside into turn 27 here. There's taking no prisoners here. Nobody seems to care that it's a sprint race and this decides the grid order. They're all just going for P1. So that's what I like to see. We've got Afari now in the slipstream. He's gonna pull out with the DRS enabled as there's been a crash at the final corner, I think, for the Haas of Hakutaki. And now round the outside goes Afari. Can Fred switch him back though through to turn 2? Doesn't have the traction, and that is Afari into the lead.
Let's see. Let's check battery standing. So Afari still has around, I think, 30 or 40%. Fred is nearly drained everything out of his battery, so Fred is in the disadvantage as well as Elias. Elias doesn't have as much battery as well, so Afari has the battery advantage at the moment.
Right, well that's going to be very helpful for him, but what he won't have is DRS in the run through the final straights on the track, so it's far from over just yet, but he has got battery left to see what he can do. Meanwhile, Hakutaki retires. You just saw him for a second there. We did switch to him, and yeah, stranded on the inside wall at the final corner. We don't know what happened, but he's going to be down in 19th as Fred runs wide through turn 16 and 17 there. That's going to cost him a lot of time, and it might just be Elias giving him the hurry up now as they head towards the final few corners of the sprint race here, and Afari might just be home and dry. Into turn 22 they go. Fred losing the back end, sliding all the way through, drifting his way around, somehow keeps it facing the right way, but here comes Elias. He's going to capitalise on that. Right round the outside he'll go with better straight line speed. He is up into P2. Can Fred dive bomb him? He's going to try it into turn 27, making almost contact there, and it is Elias just about who holds it, and that will mean Afari comes across the line to win the sprint race. Elias just about takes second. Fred has to sell for P3 after leading for half the race, and it's Shadow in P4. What about behind them? Icky Rabbit just about going to take P5, that he managed to get back up the order in the end. Bimpo ends up 6th. Slinks and MaxCon making contact over the line. Slinks has to sell for P8 with MaxCon in between the 2 Alphas. The 2 Astons. Then it's, yeah, I Like Trains 9th. Mal Brown's out the top turn from Bacon Boys, Blundy, Davey, Tim Bleish, and Leland. It's going to be P15. Then it's a bit of a gap to Infamous Pigeon Kateshi, rounding out the finishers. What a race!
Wow, what a race! like I have never seen this many battles, and huge congrats to Ferrari, which has made it, I think, on battery in the end. Really nicely played from him, and also a big benefactor, of course, which is really a big shame for Fred. That is something I have never seen. All cars just spun simultaneously on my
That was,
screen.
yeah, I saw that too. That was interesting. Anyway, as you were saying.
Um, it's kind of a sight to behold. Yeah, the big slide out of that, I think it's turn 20 or something, or turn 22, which is a big shame for Fred. It looked like he had it in the bag for most of the race, but then everything just fell apart for him because of one corner, which is quite frustrating. I'm pretty sure for him.
Yeah, he did his best, but ends up in P3. So we'll see what he can do in the actual race. Clearly, he's got some good pace, and yeah, it's going to be a Bahraini 1-2, Afari and Elias, and Fred in third place and Shadow in P4. So I reckon we have, with that top four, a very entertaining race ahead of us, and we have to give our condolences out to both Hakutako and Felix, both involved in accidents, and both will be starting from down at the back of the field. Felix especially, going to be very interesting to see if he can make his way back up the order, starting P19, which is the position that won the last race. So who knows? We might just have we might have all change yet ahead of us, but we'll be back
Are we
in.
missing cars over the finishing line?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, now I have the pit view and the pit box in my view. Something I think is wrong with the lobby, which is quite interesting.
Ah, okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe we have to reset, but yeah.
I
Either
hope
way,
not.
yeah, hopefully not. Either way, we'll be back soon with the feature race. All right, there we go. Hello, everybody. We are back once again, and I still forgot to mute the intro. Oh well, that's fine. We're here now, and we are here and ready to go for the feature race in Bahrain after some unfortunate delays. And now Leland's disconnected, so hopefully he's able to rejoin. Phil, do we have a formation lap?
We have a formation lap indeed.
All right, very good.
I wish I could push the pause button so I could invite him, but the game doesn't let me at the moment.
Ah, that's a shame. All right, he'll be able to rejoin the formation lap though, hopefully. So, yeah,
I
should be
think
good.
so.
And important note as well, we now have 20 drivers because Blazer has joined the session, so he'll be starting from the back in the second of the Alpines. And yeah, let's see if he let's see if that changes the complexion of the race at all. I'm sure we'll be just fine. I hope. Anyway,
I think we will see terrorism personally.
entirely possible. Either way, we have the drivers now. We'll be setting their setups up. I just wanted to get everybody back in early so that we didn't suffer the same fate as last week. I mean, we didn't miss the start, but we almost did. So, yeah, either way, we are here now, well in advance, and waiting for everyone to decide when to go. But yeah, let's run back through the sprint race, because that was a lot to digest. So, we had... Who started on pole again? We had Elias start on pole after qualifying, but yeah, he only ended up second after whatever happened in the race. Afari from 5th place managed to get to P1, Fred in P3, and yeah, Shadow, despite leading at various points, ended up P4. But yeah, here we go. We have formation lap. Should be getting underway now, and indeed it is. Let's pull up the tyres then.
My heart works again.
That's that's very good news. So we've got track map on. And let's turn on the tyres, and let's see what everybody's doing. And just like last week, we have a big old mix of strategies. Phil, do you want to take us through it?
Yeah, certainly. So we have the front 5 cars all on mediums, which is quite the safe strategy. They are hoping for maybe early to mid safety car, which is quite surprising. We have a lot of cars on the softs actually, which is quite interesting, I have to say. We have Bimpo, Bacon Boys, Blondie, Mr. ABS himself, Lele, Kateshi, Hakutako, and Blazer all on the soft tires. So those guys really want to get a move on through the field in the first few laps of those 25 exciting laps coming up. Then
Yeah.
we have 2 cars which are going for a very different approach, which are Tim Bleich and Felix One. Felix One, of course, had an unfortunate event in the sprint race where he got spun around. So he tries to go for the long run, but if a safety car comes out, that might hurt him as well as Tim Bleich. I don't know what his game plan is, but as we know, he's Mr. Unconventional Strategy, so we will see what he makes out of it.
Indeed we will. So, that is pretty much everything summed up there nicely, thank you for that. And now we can get ourselves prepared to think about what we're going to be seeing on this first lap of the race, which I imagine is a lot of hectic scrambling for position, but hopefully the drivers are able to do what they did in the sprint race and keep everything clean through the first few laps. That would be a joy to see, but who knows? Well, only time will tell. But yeah, we have Afari, who's going to be leading them away from pole. Had a great sprint race from 5th up to 1st, like we say, and we'll see what he can do. Meanwhile, the best sprint race award has to go to Bimpo, the highest starting soft runner, from 15th to 6th, no less. So he has suddenly managed to catapult himself into contention for the race. And yeah, we'll see what he can do. And of course, like you say, if there are no early safety cars, you don't want to count out Felix down at the back of the field, who showed some great pace earlier on in the sprint. So, everybody making their way up to the grid now. And we'll see if we see the same kind of tyre warm-up that we did in the sprint race. Seems a little bit more tame this time around. But yeah, everybody getting themselves lined up and ready to go. And I will just point out as well, I'm curious to see how Blazer does in this race. We have no reference for him, and we don't even know if he's got a setup. But either way, he's going to pull in at the back of the field now. And that means we are going to be ready to get this race underway. And once again, we're going to have to ride on board with our pole sitter Afari and see what his start is like. And hopefully see the lights. Indeed we do this time. Here we go. We've got 4, 5 red lights. And it's go. Apparently, the lights have gone off way earlier for us than for anybody else. Let's see when they actually go out. Now they go, and Afari gets us underway for the feature race here. And there's contact immediately with Elias, who got a much better start up the inside into turn 1. He will get the lead. There's contact with him and Fred, who's managed to get up into 2nd place. Can everybody else keep it clean through the first few corners? Seems like just about, but yeah, everybody has made it through, facing in the right direction once again. So they all funnel down towards turn 4, getting very tight, and Leland is out of the session. We've got some chaos going on further back in the field. I'm not sure what's happened to Leland there, but he is out already, and everybody just about making their way through here cleanly, aside from the Ferrari driver. And yeah, it seems Leland was out somewhere in the S's, and it is Elias then, his teammate, who leads the way at the start of this race.
I think I saw Alfa Romeo committing into a move into one of the S corners, and I think maybe Leland was caught up in that.
I see. Yeah, and we have Binmeister, or Shadow, coming under pressure now from Bimpo, who's again had a great start, as you'd expect on the softs, just like he did in Bahrain, and is up to P5 already, and is looking to make that P4, but Binmeister might be looking for a move of his own into P3. Meanwhile, we have the fight for the lead is going to be getting started, getting underway immediately between Elias and Fred, as in the background, Bimpo, with a brilliant exit out of turn 23, is going to be up into P4 straight away. And let's see, can Fred make a move? No, he's not close enough just yet, so we're going to have to wait and see here if he's got the straight line speed to do it towards turn 1. And meanwhile, Afari will be waiting in the wings in case anything does go wrong. And there's 25 whole laps of this for something to go wrong. So let's hope that everybody keeps it clean, but I reckon we have a fantastic race ahead of us.
Yeah, we surely will have, but I have to point out, Slinks had a massively good start. He climbed up to position just on the into turn 1, I think. So he had a really good start. Great job by him. A bit of losers were both AlphaTauri, especially MaxCon, back all the way into P9 now. So that will not make him happy after the really good sprint he had. Also, I think Katashi is making some quite okay progress so far, up into
Oh, and we've got a mistake. Sorry to cut you off. Mistake from Davey there, who's sliding his way back onto the track. He's gone wide through the S's, and he's going to drop right down to the back of the field now. As, yeah, that's everybody just struggling to get up to grips with the track here. It is very difficult, and we saw a surprising lack of mistakes in the sprint race earlier on, but perhaps we're going to start to see some of those come in now, as we have Malp here all over the back of the very fast starting Hakitaki on the soft tyres, made up 6 places, but he might be about to lose one of them here. There goes the Red Bull, which we saw had great straight line speed, cuts across in front of the Haas, but gets the move done cleanly, and up into P11. Meanwhile, looking back towards the front of the field, the gaps have started to open up a little bit. Everybody over a second apart now, so no DRS until we start the next lap, but even if there was, everybody just a bit too far back until you get to P3, 4 and 5, who are very close together still. Shadow pushing Bimpo through the final corner.
Yeah, it's quite hectic, but so far actually really clean. I think we have some Binmeister, aka Shadow, is going now for the inside of Bimpo into turn 1 and nearly connecting Afari as well. That was the really late dive bomb, but just managing to not crash into the rear of the McLaren.
Yeah, just about keeps it out there. Thought we were going to be seeing something a bit like we saw in the F2 race in real life, and thankfully, not just yet. Everybody keeps it clean so far, no damage, and we have still up at the front of the field, Elias ahead of Fred, but Fred has closed up through the first sector, so he might just be able to try and get himself into DRS range, and if he does that, then I think we will absolutely have a big old fight on our hands. But yeah, we've got a little bit of a breathing out, just for the time being, as everybody separates out just a little bit, apart from Felix, who's trying to make some moves here into turn 13, around the outside of Blazer, who's also had a good start up to P15, but Felix, of course, on the hards, will have much less grip than the soft runner of Blazer, two still going side by side, heading towards turn 14, or through 15, 16, 17, and it is the Alpha that gets it done, but he goes deep. Blazer had backed out of it, but he's back alongside now, so this battle might just be far from over just yet, but I would have flicked back to the front of the field, because here comes Fred now. He's had a brilliant middle sector, will be well within DRS, and might be about to go for a move for the lead here, heading towards the final corner. Will go on board. Is he going to do it? Not just yet. He's going to play the patient game here, and he's going to wait for the DRS down the start-finish straight, as meanwhile, I see that Felix has gotten past Blazer, and Blazer has actually dropped to P17. Here goes Fred now, though. He's going to be side-by-side, heading towards turn 1, and he gets the move done with DRS, and up into the lead of the race. So our first change of positions for P1 comes in right now from Fred.
I think Fred quite sacrificed a lot of his battery. He's already down to 40% on his battery levels. Meanwhile, Elias still has 65. So Fred really wanted to get the track position. Meanwhile, yellow flag. Bimpo has retired.
Ooh, and Bimpo. Yeah, you can see him off there, and he's hit the inside wall. He's hit the inside wall at turn 4, gone straight on. It's sheared off the front left axle, and that is such a shame. We said it was going to happen at some point, and it has happened to the driver who's had no luck yet.
Taco going wide out of the last turn into sector 1, so they are fighting hard as well. Quite surprised it wasn't a safety car, but that is probably because of our reduced safety car that we're running today. That is probably the reason why. That promotes Slings all the way up into P5. I have never thought I would say that.
Yeah, he's having a great race so far, and has just managed to keep it clean, which is very important to do around here. And yeah, Elias, I was just about to say, he's closing right up to the back of Fred here, and I suspect we're going to be having yet another switch of places, and let's see how quick this switch comes. Will he do it into turn 1 like Fred did, or will he do it a little bit sooner? Into turn 27, he's right up to the back, but once again, going to play it sensible. He wants that DRS. And he's going to sit in behind the Mercedes. He seems to have slightly better straight line speed, and he's going to try and use that to his advantage here. Meanwhile, you see Malbin, Hakitaki, switching places down the order, but here goes Elias. Up the inside he'll go, and gets into P1. Fred doesn't even fight it, and that will be another change of places, and I suspect far from the last today.
Definitely not. Elias still on nearly 70% on battery, and Fred still down on 40, so Elias is playing the ERS game quite smart at the moment. We have another yellow flag in sector 1. I don't know for what that was. It's already gone, so it wasn't too bad, I think. Yeah, but so far, except Bimpo dying and Lennon getting DNF, I think, from the game, or maybe it crashed out, we don't know. Still far, pretty clean so far.
Yeah, and another move that we did miss was Icky Rabbit getting past Slinks up into P5, but the Aston Martin driver still all over the back and keeping fairly close, although he has dropped back just a little bit now, so we'll see what he can do there. He's got the two Alfa Romeos up behind, or Alfa Tauris I should say, up behind him. You have I Like Trains and MaxCon, meanwhile the two Alpines switching places and getting a bit slidey out of turn 13 there, and getting all close together, hitting the wall, or hitting two walls as Blazer, getting very feisty now, gives us a drift out of turn 17, clearly not quite as used to the track as everybody else is, understandably so, and he's going to be in the DRS though, and he's not exactly going to give his teammate an easy time of things. Will he go for a move here? Not just yet.
I don't really understand the game plan. Still, since Blazer is only a reserve today, they shouldn't be fighting each other as well, I think, personally. But now Blazer goes down to inside all the way down to the last turn, which will give Templage the DRS. So let's see if Templage can.
Oh, and spin up at turn 1. Its Shadow has been pinched in by Afari. He's going to get hit by Slinks, blocking the racing line there. We just caught the back end of that one. Still no safety car to come out. Yeah, picked up a penalty for it as well. Oh, now more contact in the background. That's, yeah, Malb and Bacon Boys, and getting involved with Felix there. It's all kicked off at the first few corners. Now Blazer sliding his way out of the corners. It's chaos down at the turns 1 and 2 here. Slinks backing it into the wall. He's dropped down to P18. Somehow, though, no safety car.
think everyone was kind of caught up in that. Slinks is all the way down now into the last position. He has front wing damage as well. I think I don't see Malk's front wing at the moment, but he is really slow for the sector, so that looks like he also has gotten wing damage.
And meanwhile, a pass for the lead. Elias gets back past Fred. He was, well, Fred had gotten passed into turn 1, but those two have switched places again in a very unorthodox position. That was out of turn 17, so I wonder if Fred perhaps made a similar mistake to the one that he did in the sprint race there, and that was what allowed Elias to get back past him. But yeah, those two have been switching places the whole time, and I suspect they're going to be doing this for at least the entire first stint, if not the whole race.
Who really capitalized on that are now both AlphaTauris, especially Mexicon, who is again back into P5. But Binmeister, aka Shadow, now right on the rear of Alec Trains and going down to the inside of the last turn, turn 27. And that was an easy move by Shadow, nicely performed and executed. And now he will try to get past Mexicon as well to make it a double.
Yeah, that was only just caught the back end of that one, but he made it clean. No, made it through cleanly, and now he's going to go for the next AlphaTauri. Round the outside, he'll go into turn 1. He doesn't want the inside after what happened last lap, but yeah, not able to get past that. Well defended by MaxCon, as you would expect.
Really nice defended,
and yeah, stays up in P4, but now side by side with a much better exit, trying to go round the outside of turn 4. That was never going to happen, and now I Like Train sweeps through. Brilliant move there, just capitalising on Binmeister running wide, and Shadow's dropped down, and now both of them hit the curb, running straight on, and Hako Tako's going to say thank you very much and get past the both of them.
Yeah, that was a bit too enthusiastic from Shadow, but now he gets past Alec Trains again, but he wanted too much here, especially going into turn 4. That is such a hard move to perform, and I personally think he just wanted to use everything he had in the car and try to get as fast as possible, which made him suffer in the end.
Yeah, and Hako Tako on the soft is able to just breeze by, although I do suspect he's going to be into the pits a bit earlier than these guys, although it was Shadow was the one who was struggling with a little bit of oversteer there, and going out of turn 17.
Red is closing in again.
Of course he is. There's nothing new happening here up at the front of the field. It will be most likely another switch of places into the first corner. We'll see if Fred goes for it. He's not actually using the slipstream this time, though, so I wonder if he perhaps doesn't want the move. He is using DRS, but let's see. He's not going to go for it by the looks of things. No, stays in behind, rear locking into turn 1 there. That was a little bit sketchy from the Mercedes driver, but seems to know what he's doing and clearly has a bit of a strategy at the moment.
Meanwhile, 4 wide all the way into turn 1 now.
Oh my god. Indeed, and Binmeister has managed to get past the lot of them. He's up into P5 now, trying to recover after the mistake a couple laps ago. And MaxCon and Like Trains still side by side, 6th and 7th. Oh, not side by side, but side by side in the timing tower. 6th and 7th, and Hako Tako suddenly ends up down in P8.
That is quite interesting. Shadow must have made a really good move. But what is, of course, hurting him a bit, he has that time penalty for the collision into turn 1. I think as well as Icky Rabbit. That is something that will certainly not help Shadow if they actually check. So Icky Rabbit has 3-second time penalty. So that is probably for a track limit in Frigid. Meanwhile, we have a collision between Slinks and Mind into the last turn.
Yeah, Slinks backwards and mounting the wall for a second there as he tries to reverse around. It's a great race, has unravelled unfortunately, and so far as we know, entirely out of Slinks' hands unfortunately. But yeah, involved in another accident now and down to the back of the grid. That's a big shame for him and just not a good day for Aston Martin as a whole. But here we go. We've got once again Fred on the back of Elias. Surprise, surprise. And let's see if he'll go past this time. If he doesn't pass this time, then I would expect that Fred is perhaps staying behind on purpose, although I wouldn't know exactly why he'd be doing that. So perhaps he's trying to save battery, but this will be wasting his tyre life as well.
Brad actually did really well on recovering his battery. He is already on the same level of battery as Elias. Both are around on the 75% battery. Meanwhile, Afari had to use quite a lot in the background, but he closed up the gap, so that was probably his game plan. Meanwhile, Binmeister gaining another 3-second time penalty, this time for the track limit. So that is 8 seconds in total for him right now.
Yeah, as we also saw a little bit before, Slinks making another mistake there, spinning out again at turn 8, I think it was, on the exit, and unfortunately for him, his race is just very much unravelled here, and might be in danger of getting lapped sooner or later. Now we have Tim Blaish and Blazer, the two Alpines who have been going at it hammer and tongues this race, still doing so. Those two switch places again into turn 1, but I suspect, much like the battle for the lead, that's going to continue long into the night here in Jeddah. But yeah, speaking of that battle for the lead, it is still, like I say, Fred in behind and playing some kind of strategy game here, because he doesn't seem to want the track position, which is not what I'm used to saying about Fred, but yeah, let's see what he does. He has, like you say, saved some battery, and so he's perhaps going to go for the move now this time. Let's see, in towards turn 27, looks to the outside, but again, just decides to sit in behind, and all the while, this is inviting Afari closer and closer into the battle.
Yeah, but Nafari completely drained his battery. He's only on 30%. Meanwhile, Elias and Fred, Elias running on 70 and Fred really close to the 80% mark. So Afari had to sacrifice quite a lot of battery life to get in the position where he is right now. That will be interesting to see if it hurts him on the long run or not.
Yeah, as Fred getting a good exit there, but not good enough to get alongside. Not that he even wants to do that. As we still have that battle going on further down the order between Shadow, Maxcon, Hakutako, and I Like Trains. It's now Hakutaki past I Like Trains up into P7, so we'll see what he can do from there. And meanwhile, we've got to mention Felix, who's managed to get past Beacon Boys up into P9, and very much going on that recovery drive that we were talking about after the accident in the sprint race. He had fantastic pace, and he's slowly but surely marching his way back to the front of the field.
Hakutaku nearly lost just on the outside curb of the last turn into out of sector 1. He was bumping around, like really. I'm surprised he didn't lose the car completely there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that from Hakutaka. He's just seems to be struggling a little bit for rear-end grip as Infamous Pigeon picks up a penalty now. But yeah, still in P7 at the moment. When he's not sliding, he does have some very good pace as far as I can tell. So let's see what he's able to do for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, much more peaceful race for the man running in P4. We've not even mentioned him in about 10 laps. Is Aki Rabbit just sort of chilling there at the moment. No pressure from behind and seems to be too far away from the fight ahead of him. The fight now, which is three-way between Afari, Elias and Fred. Yeah. Here comes Afari. Can he go for a move? He's going to give Fred the hurry up. He wants to stay in behind, but he might not be able to for much longer. They will do just about through turns 1 and 2 this time around, but I suspect this battle is about to get a whole lot more intense now that this extra dimension has just been added.
What I see, I think for all three drivers in the front pit window just opened, their indicators are blue, so that means the strategy is open for them. Meanwhile, we have the first few cars. Yeah, we have the first three cars in the pits, which is I Like Trains, Bacon Boys, Blondie, and Blazer. Those were all soft runners, of course, so they have to come in now because those were probably really cooked.
Yeah, indeed. Those guys switching tyres immediately, and we have I Like Trains onto a set of hard tyres, no surprise there, as Hakutaki picks up a penalty. That will not be doing him any favours, and Bacon Boys and Blondie, interestingly enough, going onto a set of mediums. So yeah, we have a
late safety car.
Yeah, perhaps. Although to be fair, only 14 laps left, and if you can do 10 laps on softs, then I suppose 14 laps on mediums is fairly reasonable. So that might work out all right for them. We'll have to wait and see. But now back up to the front of the field, things have spread it out a bit here, as Elias seems to have had a very good middle sector of the lap and has quite gapped the two cars behind him.
Let's see what all the three front runners decide on strategy when they will come in for the pit stop or not. Let's have a look. Now it looks like no one actually wants to go in yet, so it looks like the mediums still have a bit of life left.
Meanwhile, we have Maxcon going for a move on Shadow here. We've not had too many moves in that battle for a while, but now we have one here as Shadow gets overtaken by the AlphaTauri driver, but might go for the re-overtake here, as his teammate was also making a move on Infamous Pitch earlier on, but now he's going to be passed by Shadow once again, so that's why you don't overtake into the final corner, because right back past goes the Red Bull, and back up into P5, as now we have Hakutako into the pits.
Yeah, he's the last of the soft runners to go into the pits.
Let's see, no damage for him to change, so that will be a nice and smooth pit stop here. And we'll see where he comes out, because obviously we will have had I Like Trains who pit a lap before, and I think he's going to get quite a mighty undercut, and is going to be well clear of the Haas driver, I think. It's a bit closer than I thought, but he is indeed past, and makes up the position to get up into what will be net P7, if I'm not mistaken.
Nicely executed, but still Hakutako with the mediums will probably have the tire advantage over the next few coming laps, but I Like Trains really close to Dave's car, so that will be something we have to look on. Meanwhile, Hakutako just cutting again out completely the And here we see Alec Trains now going for the move on the outside into the bank corner, which was really nicely executed now. And Dave defending from Hakutaku as well. So Hakutaku all over the rear. Now on the outside coming up to the really weird chicane.
It's gonna be
side
tight.
by side and the next out of track. So Hakutaku is trying to farm penalties. Meanwhile, Fred and Bo Fafari into the pits. Elias stays out.
Interesting. So we have, I'm just watching the end of this battle to make sure that they don't come to grief, but Hakutaki does indeed get past, as now you see Maxcon making his pit stop a lap earlier than Shadow will do, and as you rightly pointed out, Afari and Fred into the pits, and both of them forced to go into hards by the strategy. They can't really put softs on now, and I suspect soft tyres is going to be exactly what Elias is going for. I reckon he'll try and go long here. He should have a bit better tyre life, and let's see what he can do. As we have a spinner, and a crasher in fact, Kateshi, out of turn 13, has lost it, dropped debris all over the track. Lost his front wing, but I don't think there's going to be a safety car.
Yeah, the safety car reduced is basically none, as it looks like, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, as now we have side-by-side into turn 1, getting very close. Bacon Boys and Tim Bleich there. They were banging tyres before they even got to the corner, but those two are going to switch places. Blundy gets up into P11 here, as we saw. I think that was I Like Trains and Maxcon swapping places. Of course, Maxcon on cold tyres, and Hakitaki is going to be all over the back of him. Meanwhile, Fred getting past Felix out of turn 13 there with a very nice move, clearly getting the better traction on those much less worn hard tyres compared to Felix's 12-lap old ones. Now side by side into turn 13, barging his way up the inside is Hakitaki. Maxcon did not give him an inch, but Hakitaki was set on making that move, and make it he does and gets up into P8.
Nicely executed by Hakutaku, but Maxcon is still in the RS range and he will not give up. Just to make his idol Robert Kubica happy in the Orlean car.
Indeed, and just something that I was just... Oh, again, close contact into turn 22. Those guys did fabulously well to not spin out there. It could have been an almighty accident, but now we've got Hakitaki immediately. He doesn't really care about what's just happened on the attack, and getting past I Like Trains into the final corner. We'll see if this one works out for him, but that hasn't tended to go so well so far, so we'll see if he gets repassed into turn 1. But at the moment, up into P7. Meanwhile, Elias did indeed stay out.
He did stay out again. So, Icky Rabbit 13 seconds away. We have to launch out for Fred. That is, I think, around 20 seconds. Fred is around 20 seconds away still from Elias, which means Elias still has quite a lot of pace there. I think Elias might come in this or next lap if he actually wants to go for the soft tires.
Yeah, that would be the sensible call. I reckon he'll go one more lap as Hakitaki clipping the wall on the inside there of the S's. As now I think somebody to clip the wall a bit harder through the S's. That's Davey, who's backwards through the long right-hander that have turned 5 there. Hopefully there's, it doesn't seem to be anyone coming up behind him, which is good, because it is blind round there, but he's picked up some wing damage, so that was what the yellow flag was for a second. And now we've got a much more important yellow flag, because a crash up at turn 12. It's chaos going on here. There's somebody off the track. That's Hakutaki, like you say, as Malba's now retired from the session. He's crashed in the S's. It's all kicking off here. Malba's done exactly what Bimpo did earlier on in the race. Hits the wall on the inside of turn 4, breaks off the front left axle, and, well, we've got pandemonium here, but much to Lamauno's dismay, he's not going to be getting a free pit stop under the safety car. He has to come in, well, as it was, he's stayed out this lap, actually, but, yeah, he'll have to come in under green flag conditions still, as Fred gets back up to second.
Yeah, Icky Rabbit is going for his pit stop. Will he go for the softs as well? Let's have a look at that.
Here he comes now. I think I see a red stripe. Let's see. Indeed, yes. I do. And he's going to be on that same strategy as Slink's now retired from the session. That was in the pit lane, though, so that's no cause of safety car there. And, yeah, everybody just seemingly falling foul a bit, perhaps of either the fresh tyres, which would be unusual, or of tyre wear. But either way, here we go. We've got Icky Rabbit. Where's he going to come out? He comes out in P5, so still ahead of Macon and Like Trains. That's important for him. But, yeah, on a fresh set of soft tyres now, and he can push to the end of the race. Indeed he has, yeah. That was also in the pit lane, so that's a little bit of a strange one from him. He was still, I think, had a chance at finishing in the points, but, yeah, apparently he's decided against that.
Yeah, it looks like it. Meanwhile, I think Binmeister, aka Shadow, is on the same exact strategy as Elias. He's also since 14 laps on his set of medium tires. So I expect him to come in the pits as well. He just got overtaken by Afari, but that 5-second time penalty will certainly not help him. And I'm right, Elias is coming in. Elias is coming in now.
Here we go. So into the pits, and this is going to be almost certainly... Oh, sliding in.
centimeters.
Yeah, getting some rear locking in there, just making sure he doesn't get a penalty. This will certainly be for a set of softs. Indeed it is. And let's see what he can do now. Where is he going to come out? You would imagine Fred is going to get him on track position. You can see the Mercedes driver heading down the start-finish straight now, and indeed he's going to be well past, along with Afari and Shadow, who's stayed out for an extra lap here, so that's going to be an extra hurdle for Elias to try and get past if he does close up to him, but I think Shadow's most likely going to be in at the end of this next lap. So Elias, he's got clean air now, and a fresh set of soft tyres, and 9 laps to see if he can get back to the front of this race. It is not going to go down without a fight here. This is going to be a very, very entertaining end to this race.
I would agree so as well. We look at the pace Elias already makes on Shadow. He closed down 6 tenths already just through the sector 1.
That is,
I take that back, it's a second.
That is some mighty pace, and that is the power of the soft tyres, which we will also be seeing coming from Icky Rabbit. I didn't see that, but Bacon Boys had his own oversteer moment at the same time. Elias now immediately past Shadow. I don't even know how he managed to make that move, but he's just absolutely flying on those soft tyres, so I thought Shadow was going to be too far away, but he's immediately passed him and gapped him by 1.5 seconds, so he seems to be about 5 seconds a lap quicker. Next victim, like you say, will be Afari.
I think Elias has made a really interesting strategy call. Of course, he lost the track position now, but those softs look really, really fast on that Ferrari. So let's see if he can actually make up some time on a Ferrari. It looks like it is a bit more trickier for him to catch up with a Ferrari than compared to Shadow.
Yeah, as meanwhile, we had Felix making a move up into P7. He continues his surge forwards in this race. Unfortunately for him, he is only on the medium tyres, so he won't have the same kind of pace advantage as everybody else, but he is still on mediums, which is better than the hard tyres that a lot of other drivers are running. Meanwhile, do we have Shadow into the pits? No, he's going to go another lap, so it's a strange strategy from him. I wonder if he's waiting for a safety car, but even that would be a bizarre call, because I wouldn't expect us to get one at this point, and he's just losing so much time on those tyres. He's already 4.5 seconds behind Elias.
Yeah, he is, but I think he hopes to get that he can serve the time penalty under safety car. That's my proposition.
Yeah, that might be, perhaps that's an idea, but we had Bacon Boys and Blundy getting very close together. Felix has retired. Oh, it's a crash! Safety car! There it is! We were completely wrong. Felix has been put into the wall. I didn't see what happened. I could see the yellow flag, and he is out of the race. So recovery drive has been curtailed immediately, and safety car is out. It's the perfect scenario for Shadow here. He's going to get a free pit stop, but for, well, actually, I tell you what, for Fred and Afari, this will probably help them, because even though they're going to lose a lot of track position by pitting, they'll probably drop 3 or 4 places, they at least can now get onto a fresh set of tyres as well.
They will, but the question is, will they go in for the pit stop?
They have to, because Elias will be right behind them on fresh softs if they don't. So they absolutely have to. There's almost no way they don't. I mean, I will say almost, because you never know, but here we go. Fred into the pits, and Afari is going to follow him. So exactly as I expected. Elias will get track position now. Well, no, he won't. He's going to come for a pit stop as well. So even though he's even fresher softs, I guess. Yeah. I wouldn't expect 2 laps to make that much difference, but well, perhaps he values 2 laps fresher tyres over 2 positions. So either way, that's his call. I won't question it. He's the 2-time world champion. I am not. So I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. But yeah, this is going to make things very interesting now. And as you pointed out, Shadow able to serve that penalty. So it's going to be a straight fight now for the win here. As Icky Rabbit, just about. Well, I don't think he's. Has he pit? No, he's not pit yet. Yes, he's going to drop back behind. But yeah, this is going to be a very entertaining end to this race now.
I think so as well, but really, really lucky and great strategy call by Shadow. I wouldn't have expected that, but the safety car came just out when he needed it, and maybe we shouldn't rule out Shadow. He had some pace, especially in qualifying, and maybe he can actually make a fight between Afari and Elias.
Indeed, and the one driver, surprise, surprise, who stayed out in all this, Tim Bleich. Absolutely nobody is shocked by this. He's up to P7 now with a big gain in track position, but on a set of somewhat worn medium tyres. So I would imagine he's going to struggle quite a lot on the restart, but he will only have a few laps to try and hold on. So we'll see what he can do. As switching places a bit on the pit exit there is Blazer getting past Infamous Pigeon, who also stayed out on hards, curiously enough.
That is also quite interesting. I mean, since we had the lobby restart, that basically means everyone got the tires back. So I don't know why he didn't decide to go for a pit stop.
Yeah, that is a very bizarre call, and unfortunately, the one person who's not happy about the safety car is going to be Kateshi, because he was a lap down already, and, well, as we know, there's no system to unlap yourself in this game, so Kateshi's race is well and truly screwed, unless anybody else crashes out ahead of him.
Dave just went into the pits for a second time. First off, he got rid of his 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, and he got a fresh set of softs.
Yeah, he's going to be right around the back of the field, though, so I would imagine we might have to wait a little bit, perhaps an extra lap than we would have done for him to catch back up to everybody.
She is racing with one under safety car conditions.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's probably the only reason he's going to get to do, because he'll have blue flags the second the race starts, so yeah, I don't blame him. It's not been a good day for him, unfortunately. And I'll take this moment to have a look at the penalties. So it's only track limit penalties remaining. So Shadow does still have one, 3 seconds for him and for Icky Rabbit behind him. Then it's Max Gunn and Timberlash with no penalties. Blundy has got 3 seconds. Then Bacon Boys, Alec Trains and Blazer all clean. Infamous Pigeon with 3 seconds. And a counter crash on the straight. Blundy has been spun out.
From what I see, like from the penalty, it looks like Blondie ran to the rear of Team Bleich.
Oh no, that's not good at all for Blundy. He's lost his whole front wing as well, no less. So, I mean, that's a race ruiner for him. He's going to have to, he'll have to come back into the pits at the end of this lap, and I'm not sure if the safety car's going to wait for him, to be honest. So, yeah.
I mean, Dave is quite far away.
Yeah, Dave is quite far away, so he'll probably get one extra lap, but we'll see if he's even able to catch back up to the field after that one. But either way, from P8 now down to P12, so not good for him. And for the second week in a row, we have a crash under the safety car.
I would love to see the clip if actually what happened there, if actually Tim braked early and Blondie didn't expect that, or if Blondie was just didn't pay attention and just ran into the rear of Tim. I'm quite interested to see if there is a clip of that later.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of clips coming in today after the race is finished. That would not surprise me at all, because it is Jeddah, and obviously that means a lot has happened today, but it's still far from over just yet. We're probably going to have one more lap of safety car after this one, if I was to guess, although that said, Davey is closing up, so
he is.
They might just say that the safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap, so let's keep our eyes peeled and see if we get the notification, because it will be Fred who will lead them away. He's still in the lead.
I think it should be on right now. I think it normally comes out of this very last fast chicane.
All right. Normally. Yeah, it seems like we are gonna go one lap longer, unless the game is gonna give us a very late call. It does do that sometimes. No, it disappeared for a second. I thought it might have been going away, but no. We are gonna go one lap more under safety car, so it's gonna be 4 laps of green flag running to the checkered flag to decide the race win. So everybody's gonna have very fresh softs, apart from Tim Bleich, of course, and infamous pitch on hards for some reason. So yeah,
Blondie got really lucky, but Blondie kind of really entered the pits because Kateshi kind of blocked it for him.
Yeah, he's made his way now and gets a 5-second penalty to add to his misery.
Let's see if he actually proceeds to drive, or if he's gonna retire. So far, he is not.
Yeah, I think he can still get some points. There can be plenty of chaos to continue. He's on the lead lap, which is the most important thing. So one of those 5-second penalties will be served. And no, never mind. He will retire. So yeah, that leaves us down to, just like last week, 13 drivers remaining in the race. Although one of them is going to be a lap down.
For Jeddah, it's expected, you know, but not for Bahrain.
Not for Bahrain. This is more of what we were expecting to see here. So it can be forgiven, I suppose. But yeah, this will be now the final lap of safety car. Everybody has caught up to the back of the pack, and that means we'll be getting ready to get underway. As now Kateshi is, for some reason, ahead of Davey, and I would imagine he has to let him back through, but apparently the game has decided that's not the case either way. There'll be blue flags the second the restart happens, so that's not going to make a difference. But yeah, what are we expecting then? Come on, give me your predictions for the end of this race.
Predictions? I personally predict now a bit of terrorism into turn 1. That is my personal opinion now. We only have 4 laps of racing left, and I think some guys are really eager to get some track positions. Might not even be the front runners. I think there will be everything fine. But I think we should be watching out for, I think, around P7, P8. Maybe someone breaks too late and causes a bunch of chaos, which also could jeopardize the guys and running in front.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. So we'll wait and see. We'll see if your prediction comes true. Safety car in this lap. Hopefully everybody can keep it clean, but all is to play for here. It may only be round 2 of the season, but that is not going to stop everyone from giving their all to get whatever positions they can, and things might just get a little bit scrappy for the final few laps of this race. It will be Fred who will lead them away from the restart. Of course, he has to make sure he doesn't go too slowly. We saw Bimpo get penalised for that in the previous race, so he seems to be just keeping it fairly steady here, but not going too slowly. Still in second gear. Into the final corner. He'll run right out wide. Gets the power down now and gets us underway for the final 4 laps of this race. Who is going to have what it takes to try and get the win here? We've got a Fari in his slipstream, got a good restart. Is he going to be able to go for it into turn 1? Will ride on board, he switches to the inside. He's going to go for it, wheel to wheel they go. A little bit of contact between them, just chopping across with Fred, getting the elbows out straight away, trying to assert dominance there. Everybody keeps it just about in check, and there's no incidents so far through the first few corners as they head into turn 4 now, as side by side was I Like Trains and Tim Bleish, just about making the move work. Around the outside was I Like Trains, fabulous move by him. We do have a yellow flag out for Kateshi, who's down at the back of the field.
He lost the front wing.
Yeah, that's everybody has managed to keep it through, aside from Kateshi. Pretty clean so far. And so here we go now for the battle for the win of this race.
Let's have a look now. Icky Rabbit under pressure from Maxcon, so we still have to keep an eye out. Maxcon could really capitalize on that. Maxcon has the cars in front have both 3 seconds of time penalty because of the track limit. So that could mean Maxcon could actually fraud his way up into a podium position if he can keep it in 3 seconds behind.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. He's going to be P4 at the moment. He'd need a mistake from one of the top 3 runners, either to get a penalty or something else. But here we go. We've got a Fari on the outside now, on the offensive once again. Here he goes into the lead of the race, ahead of Fred. Fred's going to back out of it. There's no DRS just yet, so he needs to stay close here. Try and get a good exit. It was better for the McLaren, but Fred is still just about within range. But Afari clearly dumping his battery on the exit of the corner, gets a great run. And might Elias perhaps now try and make a move on Fred? We'll only have DRS for the final 2 laps of the race, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody getting very close into turn 1, but no moves just yet. As, yeah, Shadow trying to get involved, but that penalty is going to hurt him quite greatly.
William, but yet he just ran the fastest lap of the race, so it shows he has the pace, and he closed the gap quite a lot between Elias and himself. Only 8/10 so far. So Elias.
Ooh, what a slide for Afari! Slide for Afari out of turn 11 there on the curb. Fred might get close enough to go for a move into 13. Is he? No, he's not going to do it. Going to play it sensibly. He knows he's still got time left to make this move, but perhaps signs of weakness showing for the McLaren. Fred taking an alternate line through turn 13, and he's just all over the back of the McLaren driver, and this is going to be very close here towards the end of this race. Fred is right in the back, Elias right on the back of him as well. And, well, perhaps we're going to end up with 3 wide into one of these corners sooner or later.
We will see. Meanwhile, I think Maxcon is actually not...
oh, Fred runs wide. Fred runs wide. And here comes Elias round the outside. He's made the mistake again. He's done that earlier in the race. And once again, that allows Elias to get straight back past him. So suddenly, it was looking like Fred was going to go for P1. But now, Elias up into P2. And Maxcon, as you were about to say, gets up into P5. Getting very close. I think a little bit of contact was made there. Now, side by side, Icky Rabbit and Maxcon. Bacon Boy's trying to get involved. And yeah, Maxcon holds a position as DRS is now enabled, and here we go, fight for the lead. Is it? No, not close enough, so everybody's going to hold position for the time being.
Bacon Boy's looking for a move on Icky Rabbit there for a sec, but Maxcon is driving a fantastic race, up all the way up into P5, and if he keeps it like that, he will be promoted into P4 right now as well. So great driving for him. Shadow lost quite a time, and he doesn't have any battery left. He's down on 11%. So meanwhile, the front runners are still around the 80. They are saving it for the last few laps of the race.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to be as strategic as possible here. Afari's managed to build just a little bit of a gap through the first sector. That's not where Elias has been strong, but through sector 2, this is where he's been very quick. So let's see if he's able to gain time here into turn 15, or through 16, and getting lag. That really caught me off guard there for a second, but no, still going in the right direction, and still, now with the DRS open, charging after that McLaren to see if he can't get what will be his first race win of the season after being, well, having it stolen away from him basically after the race by the stewards in Bahrain, or at least that's how he'll see it. So, yeah, let's see if he can make amends and get himself back onto the top step of the podium, or if Afari, the reigning champion, finally back after missing the first 2 races, or pre-season in the first race, can actually stop him and resume where he left off on the top step.
I take it personal that we robbed him of the race win in Bahrain, since I missed the word. Now
Here we
let's
go.
see inside
Into
line,
turn
it
1.
looks like an easy move for Elias
Indeed.
so far.
Yeah, with the DRS, Elias breezes by into the first corner, and yeah, Afari doesn't want to fight it too hard because there is still, well, there's still a lap and a half or so remaining in the race, and it's basically, you've got to time yourself to be in the lead out of the final corner, whatever strategy you think is going to do that for you on the final lap of the race. So we're going to have to wait and see. Fred's dropped back just a little bit. I'm not sure if he's got the pace to contend with these guys, but I've been proven wrong before, and perhaps it'll happen again here. So let's just wait and see. We're on the penultimate lap of the race here, and I think once we get over that start-finish line, things are going to seriously kick off.
Yeah, then all the cars will drop everything they have left in their batteries. So far, they're still saving a little bit. Elias around 70, as well as Afari, and Fred with just a bit more, 75% on the battery. So that will also be a huge factor in the end.
Yeah, indeed, and I think, well, what we might say is everybody cancelling each other out if everybody's got the same level of battery, so we'll see what happens. Perhaps it might be the better strategy to try and use it a little bit earlier, and maybe Fred's doing just that, because he's all over the back of Afari, who's, well, he's now down...
He used a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he's used a bit. Afari's closing up to Elias, though. He's going to go for the move into the final corner. They're going to be 3 wide. There it is. Elias backs out of it. He's going to try and get the DRS into turn 1. He's got a better exit, but he got blocked by Afari, who was struggling for traction, and now, can he try and get back past? Both of them will have the DRS, but can they close up to Fred? Indeed they can. They're closing up. You can see here, 3 wide again on the final lap. There's contact. Fred gets hit by Afari into turn 1. Elias round the outside of the both of them. Fred struggling for traction on the curb, and he's dropped down to 3rd place, but there's still time.
I was questioning Elias playing the DRS game here, but so far it looked like it worked wonders for him. He's already half a second away from Afari. Now Fred and Afari...
Oh, Fred hits the curb. Fred's hit the curb. He's gone straight on, and that is going to be Fred's chances of winning this race gone surely now. Failing an accident between the 2 leaders. Fred with a mistake there. That's what's been plaguing him all race. Just little mistakes, and this one has cost him big time. That is going to be him surely relegated to 3rd place now.
Let's see now, Afari still hasn't given up yet. Afari still has 3 DRS zones left to get past Elias. Let's see if he can actually pull it off. Elias looks like he's quite low, so I can't really see the stand, but Afari has a bit more.
And you can see him gaining all the way into turn 22. This one's not over yet, but he's wide. He's wide again. Another mistake. How far back is he? Is he close enough to reel him back in? With the DRS open, here he comes. Here comes Afari to the final corner. It's going right to the checkered flag here. Side by side they go, and Afari gets ahead into turn 27. But can Elias get the better exit? Trying to block is the McLaren. They might even be side by side to the line, but I think Afari's done it. Here they go. Can Elias get him? No, he can't. Afari takes the win at the final corner, and Elias again has to settle for 2nd best. It's Fred in 3rd place, MaxCon P4, like you say, after a brilliant drive, keeping it clean. Binmeister Shadow has to settle for P5, and Icky Rabbit 6th, Bacon Boy 7th, Davey, and you can see Blazer there goes crashing over the line. It's Tim Bleish's teammate who gets the final point. And Davey P9, yeah, Blazer P11, and Pigeon rounds out the order in P12. But what a finish that was. Afari takes the win at the death.
Half a tenth only between them. But I think, to be honest, that was a mistake from Elias, that he tried to play the DRS game again. I think he should have defended it. That is in my opinion what cost him that victory. But still, it was really close. If he had a bit more speed, he would have made it. But for us now, let's see the champion rising again on the top step of the podium.
An absolutely brilliant drive by all three of them, in fairness, but it was Afari who reigned supreme, and just like he did in the final, not the final race, it was in the penultimate race of Season 5, or Season 6, Season 5. I'm getting very confused, I apologise, it's been a long day, but yeah, in Kota in Season 5, where he won the title, he stole it over the line, and he's done exactly that here today, and takes the victory away from Elias by, what was it? Yeah, 0.05 of a second. A brilliant end to a brilliant race, and I think Elias might be very disappointed with that one.
I think so as well, but we will surely ask him later. But let me go actually to the finishing order. Now we have Afari winning the race with only 0.05 seconds of a lap compared to Elias MP2, Fred MP3, a solid effort by him. Driver of the day, in my opinion, Mexicon in P4. Then we have Shadow in P5, also valid drive for him. Fastest lap as well. Icky Rabbit P6, Bacon Boys in P7, I Trains in 8th, Davey clinching out a 9th position, and Tim Bleish getting the last point of today's race in P10. Blazer, Pigeon, the last car finish, and then we have a lot of DNFs.
Yeah, indeed. So that is going to be where we wrap things up for the race section of this stream, but it's far from over just yet. We're going to get to hear from the drivers soon, and then we'll get to even see some of their onboards from the race. So yeah, go and take a break. I'm sure you need it. And we'll be back in a few minutes' time with the driver interviews, the driver of the day poll, and all of that good stuff. We'll see you then. All right, let me fix that. There we go. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back again. We are now here for the driver interviews, and of course, the driver of the day poll is in the Twitch chat and in League chat. If you would like to go and vote on that, I'll keep that open and hopefully remember to actually announce who wins on stream this time, which I did forget to do last week, so I apologise for that. Although last week, no surprise, was obviously Elias. So let's see who wins this time around. I think it might be a bit of a closer one, and yeah, you can go vote on that. And whilst you're doing that, we can get started with our first of the driver interviews, which will be: is our race winner here? Indeed, he is. Let's see if we can get Afari in. If I can, hang on, let me close all the other channels. There we go. All right, let's get Afari in. I missed it. Hang on. I'm terrible
Should
at
I do
dragging
it?
people in. If you want, yeah.
Yeah, wait, let me actually drag him real quick. Hello, Afari.
Hello. Are you ready for an interview?
Doesn't look like it.
Hello?
Ah,
Hello?
he's here.
Alright, hello. Well, that was a very interesting end to the race, shall we say. Congratulations on winning at the death once again. Was that your plan all along? Were you lining it up for the final lap?
Yeah.
Something told me that. Something
That's
told me that.
yeah. It happened last season and I wasn't happy with it, so I decided to do it on this season.
Yeah, that tends to be the case quite a lot as you get the move into the last corner on the last lap at Jeddah. It's can be very intense and almost got re-overtaken to the line. But yeah, you played it perfectly and got the win in the end. So yeah, how was the how would you say the rest of your race went and the sprint race as well? I suppose and qualifying. There was a lot of things that happened.
Yeah. Qualifying was more of a practice for me. I didn't have time to practice. Um,
Wow.
and the sprint I just was held my own ground, I guess. I didn't attack when they attacked. I didn't defend when they defended. I just tried to drive smoothly and pass them
Yeah,
because I
but
saw
I
that
mean,
they were using much of their battery, so I
mhm.
decided to save it.
Yeah, it worked out very well for you. You were able to basically just sneak through from fifth on the grid and get into P1 by the end of it, which was very impressive just by keeping things clean. And then I suppose it was kind of a similar story in the race because you started from pole, had a bit of a bad start by the looks of things, but then just as the race went on, you were able to use battery, catch back up, and then be in prime position at the end to go for the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything else that you'd want to mention from your race? Anything you're proud of or you didn't like or anything like that?
No, nothing really.
Fair
Was a
enough.
bit boring this race. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
that
yeah,
is
yeah, I was going to say, boring by your standards, I'm sure. Just cruise to victory, of course. That's very confident. I respect it. Yeah, Phil, do you have anything you want to ask?
Yeah, actually, I have. So it all came down to the last turn of the race, basically, and it looked like Elias kind of tried to steal the victory again for you on the last straight with the DRS. I don't know if you maybe have catch it, but he braked quite early. Did you expect that, or did you just react in time and got lucky in the end there?
No, I definitely expected it. Especially going into that last lap, he braked really early to get the DRS on the main straight, which I happily let him through. Uh, but yeah, that's why when I overtook him on the final corner, I defended the inside so that he doesn't get a good run on the exit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So you did some how do I say, like, you saw in the future basically what he is doing.
yeah, use a
I
crystal ball.
guess.
Yeah, either way, that was a brilliant strategy by you, perfectly executed, and just to, having the awareness to see what he did the lap before and keep that in mind, use that to help you win the race was, yeah, very impressive. So great drive by you today, as is so often the case, and got your title campaign underway now. Do you think you can go for back-to-back championships?
I'll definitely try, but I'm quite there's a big gap in points, especially because I didn't race the first round. But I'll try to make that up.
To be fair, considering you won the sprint race as well, I think the gap in points is only going to be about 6 or 7 points between you and the front of the field. So, I mean, my math could be very wrong on that. So, don't hold me to that. But it should be, definitely close enough that you can make it up. So, I wish you the best of luck with that, and hopefully you give us much more entertaining stuff to commentate on in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
See you around. Bye bye. Okay, then let me drag Elias in next.
All right, and Phil, you gonna do this one?
I can do this one, yes.
All right. I suspect you might have a slightly disappointed driver in your hands.
Let's see about that. Hello, Elias. Thanks for joining us in the commentary booth.
Hello.
Vlad is not willing to talk to me, as it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very disappointed.
I would imagine so. As I said in my commentary, just when the race ended, I think you kind of screwed yourself with the last turn or try to get back on the DRS. I think it kind of ruined you. Tell me about it. What was your intention there?
I kind of underestimated a forest speed. I had so much errors to play with as well.
Yeah, I had telemetry on the whole
Yeah.
time, so I could see the battery stance of all you. And Afari had less at that point, and then yeah, you basically said, yeah, I'm gonna play the DRS game again, which worked for you like 2 laps earlier, really, really well. But of course, with a bit of contact between Fred and Elias, which helped you. With Fred and Afari, which helped you a bit. And then you tried to do it again, and this time it didn't work as well.
Yeah, man. It's over, man. I'm finished. No, it's fine. I mean, P2 is not the end of the world. I mean, as long as I stay consistent and don't have any problems with, EA and stuff like that, then I think I can win the championship. But yeah, I think I took the lead by 1 point.
Yeah, we have to see that what basically comes out after all the penalties. I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, there will be quite a lot of tickets today.
I don't think I really did anything wrong this time.
Yeah,
So
I don't think so as
I'll be
well.
surprised.
That was what I wanted to mention. It looked like for most part you really drove really clean from what I saw.
I tried to be, smart, but yeah, I guess I just, fumbled last corner. But it's all right.
Yeah,
There's always next race.
it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
I would like to say. Of course, it shouldn't really happen. I think you could have won that, but in the end, it is what it is now. And you have the next chance next week, of course, which will be held. Let me actually check with the calendar
Miami.
in Miami,
Miami.
the famous home of the coolest corner, both written with a K.
Yeah.
Both written with a K because that's cool. Also written with a K. Yeah, like do you have hopes for Miami? Is it one of your better tracks, or what do you expect there?
Miami. I'm finished. No.
Let's
Uh,
go golfing.
Miami. I think I could do pretty well there. Maybe. I mean, I can practice more now, so
Mhm.
I couldn't practice a lot for Jeddah because I was in Istanbul for a week. So today was
Yeah.
really my only day of practice, and I did only an hour. So
Oh, okay, but then we're hustling out of 125.1, 1.3 is just yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
it's not that great.
No practice.
It is not that great. I'm
Not
gonna
that great, okay.
fucking murder
Yeah,
you.
26-1 is not good.
I'm gonna murder you.
I barely took pole, but it's fine.
He barely took pull.
Yeah. You and Afari are basically saying the same thing. Where it's Afari came in and he said, "Yeah, that was a really boring race." It's like, okay, yeah, by your standards, I'm sure it was. It just cruised to victory.
Because it was, more, playing the long game.
Hmm.
I think me and Fred were very smart in the beginning. We weren't fighting each other.
Mm.
Um, so we weren't losing much time at all. So I think that was very smart. And most of the fighting was clean, I think. At least for me, like I didn't get involved in anything. So yeah,
Yeah, I
um,
would agree so as
and
well. But
I'm happy with my pace as well. I think it was fine today. So, just 1 second. All right,
Ye-
I'm back.
Yeah, but I know why I put your name in the driver of the day vote with Pelias and not Elias,
'Cause I'm finished.
because he's finished.
We'll see. We'll see. Hold on. Uh, I think I have a better chance in Imola. To be honest, I think Imola is a better track than Miami for me.
Mhm.
But we'll see. Miami
Yeah.
is more easy to overtake.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
Yeah.
see. Yeah, but still, congratulations for the P2, and hopefully you can get back into the groove for next week and maybe get the race win there.
Yeah, hopefully. Inshallah, Habibi.
Inshallah, Habibi.
Oh yeah, I would like to add that I was 1 point ahead of in the championship in season 5 at this stage. We all know how that ended.
Oh, yeah. Well,
60
I mean,
points behind.
don't jinx
Noob.
yourself.
Noob.
Well, don't jinx yourself. That's our job.
Yeah, basically.
Hey,
All right. Well,
Alright.
good luck for the rest of the season then.
thank you. See you guys.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.
See you. Bye bye.
I'm extremely sus.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's. Who should we go with Arrow next? Since he was Elias' engineer
we'll
for
get
the day.
we'll get Arrow in at the end. That's what we did last week. So
Okay.
all right. Who
Then
is
it would
next
be
in the
Max Con.
finishing order? Max Khan. Yes. Yeah. Right. Let's get him in. Do you want to drag him in so I don't mess it up?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, I see. I had tier 3 open. That's why I couldn't do it. All right. There we go. Max Khan. Hello. Are you ready for an interview?
Hello. Yep.
All right, good to hear. Well, first of all, I would say very good race by you. Managed to get up into P4 by the end of things by just keeping it clean effectively, and yeah, it drove a very good, consistent race. Had some great fights throughout the race in the midfield. So, yeah, how did the whole weekend go for you?
Well, it was a fun race, definitely. I don't think I will keep that P4 because the Haas in front of me, he had a penalty that should get removed. I saw it in the replays. But yeah, qualifying was a bit mid. I qualified P7. The sprint, it was a tough battle, but I kept it in P7. And in the race at the start, I lost a few positions, but I managed to keep it clean. And yeah, I managed to somehow get P4 thanks to a few penalties also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just that was kind of the story of your race. Basically, just there was a lot of fighting, but then there was quite a long period where you were just putting in laps and keeping it within track limits, importantly as well. So yeah, ended up getting P4. We'll see if the penalty does get removed. But yeah, do you think you could have got anything more from the race?
I don't think so. I mean, if I knew that the Haas got a bullshit track limit penalty, the 3 seconds, then I think I could have defended against him. But I think I really did the best I could do, which I'm really happy about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree. I think you did a great drive. Phil Phil says that you're his driver of the day, so yeah, congratulations on that. We'll see what the actual vote says, but yeah, it was a good drive by you, and
So
I'll ask,
far,
what
P2.
do you think? How do you think you'll do next week in Miami?
Oh, Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well,
kind
like
of the
Miami is the kind of track I want to DNF on purpose. That's the corner I hated.
I can
Good in the
only
coolest corner.
yeah, I can only agree with you. It's not my favorite track, so yeah, obviously whoever decided the calendar was feeling quite evil when they added that, but hopefully that means we get at least an entertaining race, and perhaps it's going to be a bit of a battle of attrition. But yeah, best of luck for that. Phil, you have anything else you want to ask?
Not really. I just want to congratulate that Maxcon finally found his frauding again.
Me and I unfrauded myself for this race.
He finally unfrauded himself, and like I remember like a few weeks ago, I'm finished. I will never ever get a good position again. I'm finished, and now we are back. He's back here in P4, and yeah.
I can get quite emotional after a bad race, I do admit.
Have you ever seen me?
Yeah, I was going to say. All right. Well, yeah, great job on this race. You can be very proud of that. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck for Miami and for the rest of the season, of course, as well.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye. Yeah, then it's Blazer next. He finished
it-
P9, I
uh,
think.
I honestly I don't remember. I know Davey finished P9. I'm not sure where Blazer was. I think
But
he
I
was
think he finished in the points.
P11. I think he was P11. I could be wrong. Either way, Blazer.
Like,
Hello. Are you ready
Blazer?
for an interview?
Yes, I am.
So let me actually refresh my mind. Where did you finish in the end?
P11 because I let my teammate die for P10 at the end.
Oh, okay. So you were actually out of the points, but still, you made quite an effort for a drive today, starting just joining on the last in the feature race, starting last, and then all the way up to P11 is not that bad either. So tell me about the race a bit.
Nothing really happened until the final safety car restart. I got damage right before the green flag, so I had to deal with that for the entire safety car restart. I had a great battle with Dave in the final couple of corners, and then I just basically came to almost a complete stop at the end of the line, so I could let my teammate get points as he's full time. I'm part time. He needs them more than I do.
Okay, so a bit of team play in the end, even. I like what we noticed. You were quite fighting quite a lot with Tim in the over the race, which was looking up like you really were teammates for the day. But in the end, it looks like you actually gave him the points in the end.
Yeah, we fought most of the race because we really had a big gap behind us for a lot of the time, and we were out of points for a lot of the time, so we didn't really, at least I didn't really feel like there was a downside to it, but most of the time he was faster and he was able to pass me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you started on the softs, I think, as well, which I think you basically just said you just want to go for the tag on the start, I guess.
Actually, that was a mistake. I wanted to start on what the majority of people were starting on. I was going to go to mediums,
Oh,
but I
okay.
ran out of time I ran out of time, so I couldn't switch to the mediums before the start. That's why I basically almost wrecked my car before I pit, as the softs were dead.
Okay, so quite a bit of tough luck here. So it is what it is, but still, weight and effort uh, can only ask for next week if you're gonna reserve in Miami.
Hopefully, I can be able to, but I'm just excited for the tier 2 race where I'll actually be racing with qualifying.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, next time hopefully. But it won't be a sprint, so maybe it goes a bit better for you. We will see about that.
Alright, maybe.
Yeah, I'm certain about that. Just don't crash into people.
And no guarantees.
No guarantees. Yeah, that is what I expected personally.
An ominous sign, considering me and Phil will be racing you tomorrow.
Oh, now I have a target.
Great. All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's...
no, not you, Cole. It's Phil. Phil's my target.
Oh, okay, good.
Aww.
That's good. All right. Well, best of luck with detonating Phil tomorrow, and good luck for the rest of the Tier 1 season.
Why do you support him?
Sorry, Phil.
Alright,
All right.
thanks.
See ya.
See ya. Okay,
Well.
then we only have Slings and Arrow left. Let's get the Slings in. The Slings, of course, DNF'd in the end, so let's see what he has to say.
Yeah. Slinks, hello. You ready for an interview?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes.
Well, that was a very unfortunate race for you, I have to say. It seemed it was going very, very well in the sprint race, and then for the first few laps of the feature race as well. But just after the collision, the first one that just wasn't your fault at all, just innocent bystander, it just all went downhill from there. So yeah, how was the whole thing for you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, quali was fine. I mean, I wasn't. I crashed twice in quali. The sprint, I got rear-ended in the last lap, so I only got P8, and then the race, yeah, I just gave up after that
Yeah.
crash.
Do you think you can? Yeah, I'm sure you can take some positives away though, because your pace did seem to be very good. So I would imagine for the Tier 2 race tomorrow, that's got to be a positive at least.
Yeah, hopefully I can get some points.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Phil a bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, if your pace today was anything to go by, I think you can definitely do that. It seemed to be seemed very quick to me. So yeah, I'd say good job on that. Don't be too harsh on yourself. It was just unfortunate the way things happened. But yeah, is there? Well, I mean, I was going to say, is there anything that you'd have done differently? But I'd imagine the answer is probably just not turn into turn one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I probably that could have been a good race, but
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You think you'd be able to reserve again next week in Miami?
not Miami, no.
All right. Well, that's
think
that's
my
fair
wheel-
enough.
Yeah, I think my wheel might be broken next week, so
Yeah, it's just unfortunate the way those things happen.
Don't
I-
punch your wheel.
Well, no, Phil, you're just like Phil. I think you missed it. You know, it's like he might suddenly be deathly ill next week. Who knows? Anything could happen.
There's a message to all of the viewers: don't punch your wheel. I do that way too often. Nearly broke my ring finger once.
Phil, I'm happy to say that's just a you problem. Nobody else is struggling with that one.
No.
I apologize. All right. Well, yeah. So thanks. Yeah, there's unfortunate race commiserations, but I'd still say, good job on having good pace. And as I touch my
Thank
mic, and yeah, good luck with tomorrow's race.
thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye bye.
And
then
last but not least, let's get Aero in. Shall we? And how about we both interview Aero for the last
my
time?
beloved. Yeah, let's get him in here.
All right.
My beloved.
Aero,
No way.
hello.
Hello.
Yes, wait.
I suspect you might be a little bit disappointed as well after that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Elias was anything to go by, that was just not the not the ending that you'd have wanted, and probably not the start that you wanted either, with Leland getting taken out right at the start. So first thing I'll ask is what happened with that.
Well, with Elias, it was a combination of things. First off, the strategy didn't work as we planned. We had way more degradation than anticipated. We think we know where it comes from, and it's fixable, which is good. Just unlucky that we had that on our way today. And a few mistakes from Elias. But yeah, I mean, it should have been an easy. Well, probably not an easy victory because both Afari and Fred were really quick. But yeah, we made it harder for ourselves for nothing, basically. So yeah, I guess it happens. Yeah.
Next question for me. Did Elias decide on his own to play the DRS game in the last corner, or was that an instruction to him?
No, that was his own doing, which was good, which proved to be the right move. So yeah, very good.
On the first one, but on the last one, I mean.
Well, I don't exactly remember that moment, to be completely honest.
You
so,
don't
yeah.
want to remember it, my man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, the last complete last lap.
Final corner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So, well, I knew it was gonna end this way, to be completely honest with you. I should have told. I guess I had some knowledge that Elias didn't have, and I should have told him before that it's basically if you're behind the car in the last corner, despite having DRS, it's not enough distance for you to get the overtake done because the finishing line is just too close. So yeah, I guess I should have told him, but I wanted to let him focus. So yeah, it's a mistake on my part, I guess. Something I overlooked. So yeah, we'll try and do better next time.
Yeah, I would say so. So, do you have already some ideas what you want to do in Miami? Except going to DJ Khaled's house?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know something we don't want to do, which is do a coolest. Sorry, coolest. I had to
Thanks.
say that.
It's not like it's been said in every single interview so far.
I'm sorry, you have to endure this.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm already thinking of a game plan, something we have to discuss with the team. Try to polish some of the things that we did wrong today. But yeah, I guess just try to stay out of the walls will be already a last beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably the most important thing at Miami. As I was saying in one of the other interviews, it's kind of just a case of if you can finish the race, there's a decent chance you'll be scoring points, I would imagine. I think it might be quite a chaotic one, but yeah, I think strategy might be quite important too. So we'll see if you can make amends next week. And again, I do want to ask, do you know what happened to Lelin?
Oh yeah, I forgot that part. Well, yeah, he had a bug that Elias had.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, just the classic. You can't take control of your car, and then yeah,
Right,
you're
right.
forced to retire. Yeah.
Mm,
So
okay.
Codemaster's doing again.
Yeah, it looked like from our perspective that one of the alphas just took a massive dive bomb at one of the S turns, and it looked like for us it looked like that was taking him out.
Oh no. So I hope there's no useless tickets. But no, that was completely just Leland forced to be retiring.
That's a
Okay,
shame.
unfortunate for him.
Well, there's I don't know if he'll be in the tier 2 race tomorrow, but hopefully he gets the chance to make amends for that, or next week at least. But yeah, either way, it was. I think overall there's a bit of a disappointing one for you, but still plenty of positives to take away. So yeah, I would say good job on the whole.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, P2 is definitely a good result despite the circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Phil, you got anything else to ask?
I don't think so, honestly.
Alright.
Really nice idea on the strategy, but it didn't work out in the end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say, Aero?
Well, I did, but I forgot. So in classic hero fashion, I'll just forget and go. To be honest.
Alright, well, great.
Okay.
Thank you for coming anyway, and good luck for future races.
Yeah. Thank you. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Alright, well, there we go. That concludes the interviews. Not too many today. I think a lot of drivers were perhaps tired out having the sprint race as well. And also the lobby restart. There was quite a lot going on. So yeah, that leaves us now to go through the clips for stream.
Yeah.
Of which I would imagine there's probably a few. Let's have a look.
I saw a few, yeah.
Yeah,
It would
not-
be nice if
not
you
too many.
could stream it.
Yes, I will do that in a second. Let me get
Then-
the first one open.
Then we have the reactions on the right time, you know.
Oh, you want me to like screen share?
Yes.
Right, okay. Let me try and do that.
Because then I watch your thing, you know, and then
Yeah.
then
Alright.
we have the reaction at the same time.
Okay, you see
Okay, I
that?
don't. You have to put screen, not
Hey?
Discord. I hear myself.
It is on Discord, I think.
No, not the Discord. Just share your entire screen. I don't need the sound.
Oh, right, okay. Hang on. Yeah, you're giving me too much to do here.
Oh, why do I get the sound?
Okay. Let me go back to that. I don't know why it put me there. Okay, screen one. Right, do you say you want sound or you don't want sound?
I don't need sound because
You
I hear
don't need
myself
sound.
twice, you know.
Alright. There we go. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, that's better.
Alright,
Finally,
there we
okay,
go.
perfect.
Okay, let's switch the scenes and let's have a look at our first clip. So we've got one from Slinks here into the first corner and a nice little drift there from MaxCon, and this is a switchback from Slinks.
Ooh,
That
that
was
was a nice move.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact on the exit, but it was a very nice move by him. And I think if I remember correctly, he tried to go around the outside of MaxCon at the next corner, which didn't go quite so well, but still, it was a very nice switchback from him.
It was really nice move. Actually, it's kind of daring to actually go for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
Really nicely done by Slinks.
yeah, very good. And we'll move on to the next one from well, Slinks again. If I can find the right scene. There we go. Yes, it is. This is on lap 5, and I suspect this is going to be the moment Slinks' race unravels here. You can see the yellow flag comes up, turns in, and boom.
Ooh!
Yeah, just in the middle of the track, nowhere to go. That was not in the slightest fault Slinks' fault, just a completely
No,
innocent
I-
bystander. And
Yeah,
Icky,
definitely.
I have to say, Icky Rabbit did very well to avoid this. Look at that last second move.
That
Just
is-
about gets out the way.
that is basically me at that point, dodging shit.
Yeah, he did a brilliant job there, but unfortunately, Slink's not so lucky. He committed to the inside and just banged.
What I
Nowhere to
also
go.
have to mention, that is the incident that gave Shadow the 5-second time penalty, which is awesome.
Ah, I see.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a shame for him. I mean, he can't really get that removed now because he already served the penalty.
yeah, but I think it didn't hurt him in the end too much.
Yeah, the safety car helped him out, so it wasn't not the end of the world. As we have,
Yeah.
as I'm sure you've been able to tell for everyone on the stream, Max Gun clip by the deafening sound, which I've now turned down. And here we go. This is lap 5 again here. So this might be what happened to... Oh, this is lap 5, the sprint race, sorry. And here's another switchback. Again, doing exactly what Slinks did, but this time, does he make it stick? Not quite.
Nah, he backs out. He backs out.
That's
which was
probably the sensible move.
Oh,
Ooh,
and then he got
loses
hit,
it.
it looks like.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he got hit or if he just lost the back end. Yeah, no, you're right. Slinks tapped him. Slinks tapped him in the rear. And
Oh, that was what was I seeing when Slinks hit him, yeah.
yeah, just about saved it. Did a very good job there, did the German driver.
Quite impressive, quite impressive.
And we move on to another clip from Max Gun. Let me turn that one down first. There we go. And let me find the right scene. Side by side on the exit of the final corner,
Ooh.
getting put into the wall there by Bacon Boys. And I think that's the whole clip, yeah. So, let me play that again because we didn't get to see the start of it, but here we go. Just, yeah, Bacon Boys Welps just tries to feed him out into the wall a bit, but very much misjudges it. So, yeah, a bit naughty from the McLaren there.
Yeah, a bit naughty. I think Maxcon already made a ticket about that from what I saw.
Yeah, no surprise there. And now we have one from Blazer in
that is some 160p.
Let's have a look at this one.
We should ban HSC. We should ban Blazer. He's playing Fahrenheit.
All right, here we go. We've got a
start.
very interesting camera angle as well, and crashing into the wall under safety car. So there you are. That's the average Blazer strategy.
That is the best Blazer strategy.
Yeah, done the George Russell there, just trying to warm up the tyres, which are like igloo cold. I don't know how you even let them get that cold.
What is 165 Fahrenheit? Actually, let me check.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why that thing is that measurement is so stupid. It's oh my god, how is he actually driving? It's 73.
Yeah, I was going to say that's around the 70 mark. So yeah, no tyre temps, and that's exactly where he spun.
Yeah, my god, man's crazy.
All right, next one is going to be from I Like Trains in the other of the two Alfa Romeos, or Alfa Tauris. Keep getting that wrong, and that is what happened to Blundy there.
Did he actually
under
lose
the
it on his
safety
own?
car? I don't think there's enough pixels to tell, to be honest. Can see. Let's see. I don't know. I think he went left then right, so I wonder if he might have just looked away and then had to like lock up all 4 tires and just spun. I'm not sure.
Maybe. You know what would have happened? What would have helped there? ABS.
Yeah, ABS would have been a big help there, but unfortunately, Blundy does not use that. In case you didn't know.
What? He doesn't?
I know, a shocking revelation. Here we go. We've got another one from
moly.
Max Gun. Let's take a look at this. This is a move on his teammate, I Like Trains. These guys were fighting for a lot of the race. Very evenly matched on pace, and is that Icky Rabbit getting involved? I'm not sure.
No, Hakutako was.
Hakutako, yeah. And just getting past and staying ahead. I think that's going to be it, yeah. Nice clean move.
That was nicely defended, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a nice example of clean racing whilst Shadow falls off the track. So, yeah, there you go.
He binned it.
The juxtaposition of LLC.
He doesn't. He has the name for a reason.
Exactly. Alright, and last but not least, we have a 46-second clip from Blazer. So get your popcorn out and let's enjoy all 3 of these pixels.
Oh my god. That was a beautiful.
This is the final lap of the race here.
Really close to the wall here.
Yes, trying to save every millisecond into 22. And yeah, just
Ooh, nearly losing it.
yeah, just messed up a little bit there, and I think this is Davey going to be getting past here, much like Afari was doing. And we'll run to the final corner. There we go, Davey does get the move, but a dive bomb back up the inside, trying to make it work, but couldn't
Davey
quite do
getting
it.
the better traction.
Yeah, Davey
That's
gets the better
quite
traction.
something.
DRS on the run to the line, and then backing off to let his teammate through so that Tim could get the point, which is, I have to say, very sportsmanlike driving.
Actually, really a sportsmanlike driving, but I'm surprised that Davey got that much better traction out of the last turn. Maybe
Yeah, it
the,
was-
the wing damage maybe of
Yeah,
Blazer
good point.
compromised him a bit here.
Yeah, most
But
likely
still.
they were very even, and yeah, it's a, a brilliant run to the line there. But yeah, just decided not going to make it. Best to back off and let your
Yeah.
teammate get the 1 point. So yeah, good.
But Davey,
nice way to win the
for
race.
Davey, that must have felt great, I think.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But yeah, there we go. That's going to be the last clip, I believe, unless anyone has any more. No, doesn't look like it. So yeah, there we go. I can stop streaming now, and
Yes, you can.
we can wrap up what was a very, very entertaining race by absolutely nobody's surprise. This was a lot of fun, and yeah, that's going to be where we run things off for today. So, do you want to give us your final race rundown, your final little debrief?
What can I say? It was one of the most clean chaos I have seen in a very long time. Not cars taking out each other, which was really nice to see, but also just stuff happening all over. We really had like no time to actually get a small little break or something. Constant action, which is really good, I think, for the racing. It was really exciting to watch, and I think Tier 1 is kind of known for that. It can be chaotic, but that is what makes it interesting, I think.
Exactly, yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Clean chaos, I think, sums up the race quite well. So, yeah, that was what we got this week. We had pure chaos in race 1, clean chaos today, and, well, who knows, we'll probably have all-out nuclear war by the time we get to Miami, but, yeah, let's see. And that is going to be the end of the stream today. We, of course, have the race tomorrow, the Tier 2 race. So, me and Phil will both be racing in that. You can come and wish us luck. But, yeah, until then, we'll see you then, and then we'll be back here next week. See you around.
We will. Yeah. Bye bye, everyone.